Good evening, everybody. I'm Zach, and with me here is Grammy, and we're here for this lower bracket elimination matchup between Team BASSISIX and ARF Starlight. Whoever loses today is going to be out of LCQ and out of any chance of making it to Elite this year. So, Grammy, with the stakes so high, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling very, very excited for the matches that we have. The match that we have here today. I mean, both these teams have performed phenomenally in the previous few days, and I'm just really excited to see what they have to bring to the table with just so much at stake over here today. So, how do you feel about the matchup today?
I think that both of these teams have like a game cut out on their hands because apart from I think both of them have been extremely successful in their group stages. They've only like lost once, which is why they're in the lower bracket, of course. But both of the times they've lost, they lost in a way where it was like a 2-0 score. So they're probably feeling the pressure right now. Looking at the brackets, you can see the journey of ARS Starlight. Right off the bat, they had to go up against Exted and Sapphire, so I don't really envy them there. That's a bit rough. But nevertheless, they seem to be killing it in the lower bracket. I think that if you were watching yesterday on the mainstream, you did see them 2-0 big side. And that was one of the most exciting matches. I went and looked back at the WODs, and they won 6 rounds in a row, Grimmy, to make a comeback on the second map of Icebox.
I mean, that actually sounds like what Basis Six almost put up. The fight that Basic Six almost put up against X Team Bo, I believe they did win many rounds in a row strung together to try and bring themselves back to overtime, but unfortunately they just fell short just by a little inch. Just both games, although you see on the scoreboard is a 2-0, but both games came down to the wire. It was both 13-11, and I think here today we have a game on our hands.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this because both of these teams, especially both of these teams, I think they are newly formed for this LCQ tournament, but they both have experienced players that you really need to watch out for. Like especially, I think from the side of AR Starlight, Shabi is a favorite. We saw how instrumental she was yesterday on the chamber, and I think somebody else that you really want to watch out for on the AR Starlight side is Rue. So both of these players were the main reason why they managed to mount that comeback. I think it was 6-11 at one point, and then they managed to make it to 13-10 or 13-11 by the end of it. So that was a really good comeback. But let's take a look at the lineup for ARF Starlight so we know exactly who we're contending with here. Now, Crescents as well yesterday on that KO on Ascent, she was phenomenal. So many crucial lurks, so much utility that she was really able to bring in and like enable the pushes coming in for the side of her team on that attacking half here.
Yeah, definitely so. And not to mention, I think Margot and Crescents as well. They're both former big size players. So even though this team is fairly new, all these players have so much experience coming into this tournament, which makes them a really strong contender here today.
I agree with you there, and of course we don't have to say much about Shabi. Everybody knows the kind of damage she can deal, especially with us still playing on the previous patch where Chamber has not yet been nerfed. He's still as insane and broken as he was. She takes full advantage of that, and she just absolutely goes ham. So I'm really hoping that we do see some more Shabi Chamber plays coming in, and of course, like I mentioned, Rue. I think yesterday on Icebox in particular, she was instrumental on that race. So it's not a pick that you usually see coming in on that particular map, but man, did she make it work! It was huge coming in from her. So I think she got multiple 3Ks and 4Ks to enable the map to go the way it did. So these are the two players I think that ARF Starlight like really revolves around. But we've talked enough about them. Let's take a look at their opponents who are going to be basics for today. Their roster, well, it's not exactly not stacked either. Like KitKat, for example, we talked about her, the star duelist for Aresta, and we know she's been playing a very versatile role for the team these days. Grammy, she's been put on the jet. She's been playing Sky. A lot of roles that she's willing to pick up, including that Killjoy that we saw yesterday from her.
And every so Killjoy from playing a duelist like Jet is just so much of a change for her, and the fact that she's able to utilize the Killjoy utility so well just goes to show how strong her fundamentals are. But let's not forget about the rest of the team. Angela, Senderi, Miguel, and Mario here today. Senderi did put out a very strong performance yesterday as well. I do believe she was on the Astra on the map of Haven, and she was really instrumental in winning out several key rounds.
She was, and of course, we talk about Senderi's Astra, but you also got to talk about Senderi's Viper because that's where it's at. Her timings are just so good when it comes to like lurks and just utility usage. Wise, Senderi is phenomenal. So I'm looking forward to seeing the clash of the controllers, I believe, as I would call it, between Senderi and Margot, if I'm not wrong. So that's gonna be pretty good to watch. And Angela, of course, one of those players who is willing to switch between roles. We saw her playing a duelist on the first map. We see her switching over to the chamber, which is basically a duelist, but it still takes a different kind of skill set. So that's gonna be kudos to her coming in, and I'm excited to see how it's gonna shape up between these two teams because it's do or die, right? You gotta win the series in order to like really move on. Otherwise, well, it's goodbye from us and from the side of the VCT game changers for 2022.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. As you mentioned, we do indeed have a very exciting game on our hands. To put it simply, that's just it.
Yeah, and I think that the map videos are in. So let's see exactly where we're gonna be heading today for our best of three series. We're gonna be starting off on Ascent, which is picked by ARF Starlight, I believe. Yep, ARF Starlight's pick Ascent. They managed to defeat their opponents yesterday on this particular map, and I think they run a very cool agent comp here. In fact, so far ARF Starlight they played this map 5 times during the course of just this LCQ, and they are undefeated so far.
I mean, that just goes to show that they're pretty confident in taking this map away from the side of basis 6. But for the second map, we do have Fracture, which basis 6 they did play 3 times throughout the LCQ itself, and they won. They have a 100% win rate on it as well. So both these maps are kind of the playing ground of each team. Ascent for ARF and Fracture for basis 6.
Also, one more thing to note is that when it comes to Fracture, Air of Starlight, they did okay in the group stages, but their first matchup in the playoffs, they went up against X10 and they lost like really badly. Like I think it was 13-3 on Fracture, the way Starlight lost. So that's gonna be a map where they're gonna have to confront some PTSD before they can really move forward. But map number 3, that's what's got me excited because this is a map that both of these teams have proven that they can play quite well. The matches that they've won, they've been really close for both these teams. So I'm excited to see how Icebox is going to go because I think the odds are very high that we are going to be heading into Icebox today for our third map because both of these teams they're just so stacked and they're just so balanced out against each other. So like you mentioned, these are the comfort picks coming in for each of these teams. Starlight is extremely confident on Ascent. Beta 6 they seem to be confident on Fracture. So yeah, I think we are going to be seeing Icebox, and I don't know what. Honestly, I think it could go either way because, like I mentioned, this is a map that both of these teams have proven that they're very versatile on.
I mean, it does come down to how these individual players are going to be playing today, as well as how well they can kind of play out their team strategies and with the combined with the utility usage as well. And speaking of the first map, it is going to be Ascent. So, what are your predictions for this map, Zach?
I think Starlight should be able to take it because, like I mentioned, they have a agent comp that lets them play really aggressively while also letting them get a lot of info. They like running that double initiator combo of the Fade and the KO, which is great for pushing. It's great for information. It's great on both halves, honestly. And of course, we talked about the Astra pick coming in, and they still run the Killjoy, which is great. So they have a Sentinel which can lock down a side completely. Killjoy has that kind of capability, and of course, they have extremely aggressive firepower in the form of Raze. I believe that it's either Rue or Shabi who usually picks up that agent, mostly Rue, I think. So that's going to be exciting to see. And of course, Shabi is surprisingly the Astra player on the map of Ascent yesterday. So I think we might be seeing a repeat of that. But their comp is incredibly strong on both of these halves, and especially on attack, they tend to be able to push so quickly but so aggressively with like a minimum amount of damage being taken just off the back of the utility that their agents have. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to be performing on Ascent. BASSISIX as well, they're not anything to slouch at. They also do have a very exciting Ascent comp that's very similar except for one agent, and that is the Duelist. They run a Jet instead of that Raze. Apart from that, both of these teams, they almost have a mirror comp looking at their previous scores so far.
Yes, right. The Jet versus the Rays, the actual question of the century. Which duelist do you think will shine more on Ascent?
I mean, personally, seeing that neither of these teams is running a chamber, I think if you are going to be picking up that operator, Jet does have a little bit of an advantage in that front. But I mean, if you're a good enough race player, you can compensate for not having a dash with some insane satchel plays. And of course, Raze just has a more versatile kit that lets you like really, take care of these corners. And I know this is a bit controversial, but in this way, I think Raze acts almost as much of an initiator as much of a duelist because her kit it really lets her get some kind of information while pushing in while also doing a lot of damage. So I think she's one of those agents that if you know how to play it, if it's your comfort pick, you can do really, really well. But it's not. It wasn't meta for a while. It's still slowly starting to come back in, but it works. It could work. So it could honestly go either way. It depends on if the Jet player, who I think will probably be KitKat, is able to like really shine on that operator. KitKat or Angela could be either one. But if they can pick up that operator as soon as they can and really find some value with it, that's gonna be what they need to differentiate themselves.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you right there. Raze just has so much utility for corner clearing, such as the boom bot, the paint shells, and the mobility as well, provided with her satchels, as compared to Jet, where you kind of have to face check everything yourself, even as you tail it onto site. So she's gonna, the Jet player is, as you mentioned, is gonna be probably either Kit Kat or Angela, right? So she's gonna need backup in the form of her teammates here. And in terms of initiators, we do see a lot of KO coming to the mix. Do you think we see a KO here today?
Oh, I definitely think so because both of these teams, especially ARF Starlight, they do so much with that KO. Like Crescents bring so much value with that particular pick, so I don't think they're gonna be swapping it out anytime soon. It's always good to have a KO when you're playing against the Killjoy or any kind of super aggressive lineup because number one, the 0 point gives you so much information. Number two, your fragments you can stop pushes if you know they're gonna be coming into sight any second. And of course, that null command is so powerful when you want to try and take a site. So the KO brings a lot of versatility, especially I think that right now with both these teams known to run killjoys, the KO fragments in particular is incredibly powerful because it goes through walls at this point, right? So even if a killjoy puts down our lockdown, guess what? That's going to be broken by a 200 piece of utility. Insane.
It's just like the breach aftershock right there.
Yeah.
Just 200 credits and you can break like what, a 7 out orb Killjoy lockdown already. Especially if you have those lineups for where Killjoy players usually like to put their default lockdown
Hmm.
for retake or side takes. And in terms of the other initiative, I do think both these teams they do like to run more of a double initiation lineup, right? So in terms of the other initiative, who do you think we'll see? Will we be seeing the Fade or the Sova come out today? I think Fade has a lot of potential to her utility has a lot of potential to be combined with a lot of other agents, especially the race for if race does come out on the side of ARF Sunlight, especially with the C's and the paint shells combination that we saw so often in the I think a few of the matches previously.
I agree with you, and Fade really lets your duelist play very aggressively. So when you are running that raise and you do want to push into a side, you have those prowlers that you can really use to clear out angles while your teammate checks the other angles. Think about it, like a prowler towards the left, a boombo towards the right. That's it. Side is going to be open if you're going to be satcheling in. So it's a bit more complicated than that, I suppose. But a lot of utility that lets you play really aggressively. That's what like Fade really excels in, and like I said, ARF Starlight, they have been running the Fade for the past 5 maps in this LCQ so far. Every time they've played Ascent, and they won every time. So I don't see a reason why they would really switch it up that far. And as for BASSISIX, I'm not sure. They could go either way. I think that a Fade would be a great pick, but the Sova also it's a standard. If you're somebody who likes to get those cheeky little wall bangs in towards that B side, you know exactly what to do. You just pull out a recon dart, get that Odin, and start spraying. And more often than not, you're gonna be rewarded with the kills. So I never know. It could go either. It could go either way.
I mean, definitely. So not just the main, right? You even have a side hell. If you have an Odin, you can just spray that position all day, and you might just catch a few players off guard who are just hiding under heaven right there. And I think, I mean, in terms of Sentinels, you did mention we are gonna be seeing the Killjoy pick. How do you think any of these teams will go on a curveball and pick up the Chamber or any other Sentinel?
I kind of hope they do because it's always fun to watch a chamber play, especially with him. Probably his pick rate is gonna go a little bit down with the nerfs coming in. I'm not sure about that yet, but I would like to see some chamber. But honestly, Ascent is the one map where Killjoy still has like the highest pick rate when it comes to Sentinels, and I'm kind of hoping that doesn't change because I love playing Killjoy myself. So Maybe I have a little bit of innate bias, and I still think she's an incredibly strong agent because even if your lockdown does not find as much value as it used to, that turret is so annoying. It gives you so much info. You can put it on that box inside A, and it's gonna look all the way across. If someone's coming up short, they come into that area, it's gonna immediately go off. So it gives you so much info. The only issue with Killjoy that I really see is that you're locked to a particular site. So if you're playing A and you set up as an A, you can't go further than A short or maybe mid if you set it up that way. So that's the main inconvenient part of playing Killjoy. But I still hope that we do see her coming in.
I mean, I do think that we will see her coming in because her kit is just so useful for just locking down a site, and that just means you can stack more players on the other side of the map, right? So let's say you have maybe a Lumbot for mid, and you have the turret for the B site. You and we play maybe you're playing for market, and you basically can just put all your other players on the other side of the map, and if the your opponents run straight into you with that death ball rolling, they're gonna be met with a lot of opposition there. And not only that, if they do run into your own side, you do have a lot of stalling utility in the form of the nano swarm. In combination with that turret, it does slow you a little bit if it tags you up. So that's going to be very, very useful for stalling for rotations to come in on the defense.
I agree with you there. I think that we're having some technical difficulties, but we'll be heading into the match pretty soon. Now, like you mentioned, yeah, Ascent is going to be a banger of a match. That's the best way I can say it. But before we jump right in, we're going to take a small break while we fix these issues. Stay right there.
Welcome back to the VCT Game Changers APAC Academy. Welcome back to the VCT game. Oh no, I'm not okay right now. Welcome back to the VCT Game Changers LCQ here. My name is Grammy. I'm joined by Zach, and just as right before we head into the match between ARF Starlight as well as BASSISIX, we are gonna have a bit of a roster change for the side of BASSISIX. Mario is gonna be replaced by Felcher, I believe.
Yes, you are right. It is going to be PP Felchuk coming in here, clutch basis six here, because I think there were some technical difficulties. But hopefully, we'll see Mario back soon, because I was looking forward to casting that particular name, especially on Ascent. And nevertheless, though, it is going to be PP Felcha, an old favorite. We've seen her over the course of the last couple of days, coming up huge, and I'm excited to see what she's going to be doing today. So, Grammy, did you forget you already graduated from that academy there?
I kind of did. I mean, I'm still in school, okay? So I kind of forget that I graduated from something. So
Well, you do have your stamp of approval here, but I guess we're back to playing with the big boys in this LCQ, and like we mentioned before, we're really excited for this particular map. We're gonna be heading into Agent Select pretty soon. So for Ascent, seeing that this is ARF Starlight's map, I'm gonna have to say that they're probably going to win it. What do you think, Remy?
I mean, seeing that they do have a really clean track record in it, I mean, I don't think there's much contention except for maybe if BASSISIX can pull something out of their pockets or their sleeves here today. But we are gonna be heading into Agent Select really soon here.
So let's see what we have in store for us. Map number one, it's going to be Ascent, and looking at it, it's going to be BASSISIX starting off on defense already, while ARF Starlight, well, they've shown that they can attack in style and in a very dominating fashion. So this is going to be exciting. Already you see Margot going in for the Killjoy, Shabby as well going in for her usual Astra. Yesterday she was phenomenal except for one particular round where I think she had some technical difficulties. But apart from that, it is going to be the agent comps exactly as we expected, Grammy. Only that Joel is really switching out here.
Yeah, Jet versus Raze once again. I think it really comes down to just how well these agents can utilize the utility, because with the Raze, as we mentioned before, you have a lot of utility to clear those corners. So Kit Kashi might have a little bit of a harder time entering onto sites without the help. But she does definitely will have the help of the initiators in the form of the Fade and the KO as well to kind of ease her job a little bit. And once she tailwinds onto the side, she's gonna be able to get a few frags here and there and just get the site for her team.
I really like that play on a sense where you put down a cloud burst, you activate your tailwind, you dash into the smoke, and you just you can like casually clear the left and the right side while you're doing that. So that's something that I really like. It's the kind of versatility that Jet really brings to your team, I believe, and appreciate that coming in from Kit Kat. We've shown how strong she can be, especially when she gets that momentum going. We've seen it on Icebox before. Once you let her on the attack, once you let her loose, basically, she is willing to go and get as many kills as she can in a particular round, just popping heads casually, especially her movements is pretty insane. So on defense though, I'm not sure how exactly this is going to go because she has a tendency to sometimes overheat. I think you already do see a 3-person stack towards A main coming through. I think they want to get a bit aggressive here, Grimmy.
And then that they're gonna be met with quite a bit of opposition on the other side as well. 3 players on the opposing side also stacked towards A, so there's gonna be kind of a clash coming out here. Already we do see the Prowler coming through, and the exchange of 0 points as well. They do know there's a few players stacked up in this A main position, so ARF, they're not really gonna try and challenge it.
A very good call, I would say. It seems like they're just gonna try to take some short control instead. But this is the play that BASSISIX is aware might be the case. So you can already see Angela willing to do a little bit of jiggle peek, just spot the tip of the Astra's head there. So Shabby, well, she's just gonna hold down the fort. While the rest of the team, it seems like they're getting ready for a B commit here. However, the Killjoy utility as well as the Astra, they have 2 things that they really want to deal with here. Already you can see the turret doing so much damage. And off the back of the
What?
distraction, KitKat already finding the headshot through the smoke, I believe onto Crescents there.
What an insane shot coming out from Kit Kat with that Sheriff, but Senderi is the one who finds the second pick, stalling Margot. They couldn't for the trade, but Felcha is good for 1 as well. Shabby good for 2 if that goes, and she's gonna be able to get the spike plat down. 2v2 situation here.
Yeah, they're gonna have to retake it right now, but both of these players from ARF are looking a little bit bruised and battered here. Shabby, with a bit more HP than her compatriot, is gonna have to deal with a lot of these fights. You can also see the utility available right now from these agents, both Angela and Miguel. They know exactly where these players are. They just need to connect
Oh,
one shot, but Shabby somehow gets that headshot. It's all down to Legit Queen here. 31 HP left on her right now. It's going to be the Haunt that catches Kit Kat out, and now that she knows exactly where she is, all she has to do is really play time here as far as she can. And Legit Queen, she's doing it to perfection here. She's gonna swing out right now. Oh, but it's gonna be Miguel who gets the clutch instead, getting that shot with the Sheriff. And her shot, it's gonna be going into BASSISIX's favor.
Shabby with the 3K though. I mean, she is a chamber player, so I think that Headhunter must have come into practice right there. 3 ghost headshots coming through for her, and she's already two away from the Cosmic Divide, and that's in the second round. I think that's pretty insane. But for coming into the second round, the players on BASSISIX, they're gonna be able to buy up all these specters and heavy shields as well. Whereas on the other side of the server, we do have Shabby with the Sheriff as well as Legit Queen.
Yeah, I mean, if the indication of Shabby's aim is any proof from the previous round, I think we might be seeing some more nasty shots if she's in the right place at the right time. It seems like they do want to go in for the A push, but right off the back, they're going to detect 2 players from that 0 point, so they're not going to really want to commit and push through this one way here. You can see the Boombot trying to clear out these crucial angles, and Senderi, in the meantime, she's managed to walk her way up into the Vines area, so I think that ARF are aware that that might be the case here. They are spotting out the armpit of Angela of all things. Fragment coming through as well. Senderi finding the first on the round already. Brought down to only 13 HP though.
The paint shells to clear her position out, and she still wins that gunfight onto Crescent. So that's the KO down on the side of ARF Starlight already. It seems like they might want to try and challenge this A side hit, but there are already 3 players on the opposing side waiting for them here.
Things looking a bit rough right now. They have no map control anywhere else on this on the half. They don't have they're not B, they don't even have mid. It's all just them going down to A. They are heading into the side at least, so it's gonna be Sanderi who still finds another despite being so low and manages to get her hands onto the Spectre. So the upgrade has been picked up by these players. The spike is dropped. It's all down to just one player right now. Legit Queen managing to find one with that Spectre, but that's gonna be it on this particular round. They do take down 2 players, so it's not a complete loss, but nevertheless, I think BASSISIX did quite well.
Yeah, definitely agree with you right there. Air Starlight, I do think they did pretty well. They did quite a bit of damage to BASSISIX's economy, taking out 2 of their weapons as well as those heavy shield. 2 of the players have heavy shields, and that just means they have to reinvest into this next round where ARF Starlight, they're gonna have the economy advantage with the rifles coming through as well as the full shields.
More than that, they're also just 2 away from the ultimate. But oh, look at this play. A beautiful flash enables Kit Kat to take down Crescents right there. She does get traded out. But every single pick that you can get in these rounds matters if you're on that bonus buy here, which is what they are right now. So already 1 pick going down for both of these teams is huge right now. Miguel trying to gain a little bit more information towards this B main area. Will know that there's at least 1 player waiting off the back of that Prowler breaking. But look at the spike. It's headed in the meantime back towards this A site where it's going to be none other than PP Felcher playing with her entire setup. So if they decide to go towards this A side, they have their work cut out for them. But Marga finding that pick towards mid is going to be what probably convinces them to try to go towards the B side instead.
I mean, I do think that's a pretty good call considering the fact that Senderi seems to be rotating towards the A side. Now, he's gonna look back towards the B side once that Nano Swarm and the Nightfall come through. Rue is the one who finds that pick up onto Senderi. It's all up to Miguel to try and hold down this side here, but what can you do when Rue is already guns blazing, running straight at you? It's all up to Felcher here with a Spectre in hand.
Spike planted.
1v4 that she has to clutch out to win this bonus, and I think the odds of that are looking increasingly unlikely here. However, any kind of economic damage that she can pull off is going to be huge for BASSISIX at this juncture. At this point, she's just going to be waiting to see if anybody's going to be giving peaks, but the discipline coming in from the side of these Starlight players is impeccable right now. They don't want to take these fights. They don't want to risk losing the rifles that they have purchased that they really need to carry into the next round here. And the clock is ticking. Felcher is running out of time. She's running out of plays that she can make, and I think she's just going to be content to wait for exits here right now.
Yeah, all 4 players on the side, there are going to be some Exit strike to be collected here to find the first, but unfortunately the shots did not connect on the second. Margot with that trade, and ARF take their first point on the board.
2-1. Now it's going to be BASSISIX's full buy though, and now we're looking at a full-on rifle versus rifle battle. Starlight did lose 2 weapons the last time around, but they are still going to be able to buy in fully. So looking at the ultimates available for both of these teams, they are only 2 away from the Killjoy lockdown from Margot, and they also only need one more ult orb for that Cosmic Divide, which can prove to be very important in getting the plant. You can already see that Starlight, they're going to be forcing on towards mid and short this time. Already Margot finding that first pick with a beautiful headshot onto KitKat. Wow.
What a shot coming out from Margot right there. Takes out the Jet on the side of BASSISIX. So if they do try to go in for this retake situation, it might be a little harder. But 2 plays on the side of BASSISIX already pushing out a main. Will Shabby be ready for this is the question.
Everything on the line right now, and no, she's not going to be ready. Senderi takes her down, and more than that, now Spike is in the control of the defense. 2 players sitting on top of it. Sure, the A side has been taken, but what's the point of the A side being taken if you don't have the Spike to plant? So they're going to be making their way back to this area, trying to push forward. All 3 players possibly being caught by the 0 point. No, it gets broken down. But nevertheless, it is going to be the crossfire being held that is desperately trying to be broken. Marga, a bit awkward, but she manages to somehow get that kill there. The turret as well finally activating and gives away Senderi's position. Oh, a double headshot from Senderi, taking down both Rue and Crescent somehow there. Still holding that angle as strong as she can. She knows that she has to stay alive here, but that utility combo might be what finally finishes her off, unless she manages to, move and hold that angle tight. She has the backup as well coming in from PP Felcha. A 2v3 right now, and Margot is incredibly low. Legit Queen has a lot of heavy lifting if she wants to make this round work. 15 seconds left.
Not only that, they don't really have that much utility to work with here, where Miguel, with that seize, is able to kind of stall the players of ARF. Starlight does find the first pick onto Margot, but Legit Queen, she doesn't have time to plant the spike at all.
No time, and that's going to be how BASSISIX take their 3rd round here. Felcha with the last kill on the round, and that was completely off the back of Senderi's heroics there. That first pick onto Shabby, getting control of the spike, and of course, somehow connecting these 2 clean headshots onto these players from the side of Starlight. That is going to swing the round in their favor. And with that, BASSISIX take the lead. I think the economy right now for Starlight is not going to be ideal, if I'm not wrong. So we might be seeing an eco coming in from them.
I think we are going to be seeing an eco with these sheriffs being bought and a Spectre on Rue. They do have the lockdown and Cosmic Divide to work with here, but they might not look to invest because on the other side, the ultimates are actually being farmed up already. Senderi has the Cosmic Divide of their own, and Miguel even then Nightfall to try and go in for this retakes.
Yeah, but guess who also has her ult? It's going to be Rue who picks up that ult orb, and she's going to have the showstopper off the back of that. Even though this is an eco round, we've seen it before, how things can get switched around if you invest your ultimates at the right time, and that might be the case here. It seems like they are going to be going in for a direct B execute here. You can already see Rue getting ready to pop that showstopper as soon as she can, but no, that seize is going to be perfect, and it's going to completely deny any kind of push off the back of that utility for a while. Rue still manages to finally pop it, closes the door, and off the back of that, they're going to be pushing towards his backside, finds a pick with the showstopper. That's going to be 1 rifle which your teammates can retrieve. And more than that, it's going to lay the site open right now for these players from ARF Starlight. Margot playing a dangerous angle here with Justice Frenzy, but finds so much value as she manages to take down KitKat. Just 3 players left right now, and they have to make this retake work, Grammy.
Rue is able to find that pick through the smoke. Senderi good for the trade. 2 trades in fact, but not before Margot can take Angela down, all up to Senderi. She does have a Spectre in hand. Now a Vandal upgrade as well. But with just in a 1v3 situation, what more can you do? Crescent's already hidden in logs. This is another angle. She has to clear out, but it's Legit Queen with that final kill to bring Starlight the 2nd point on the board.
This is exactly what I pointed out on the onset of this match, that on the onset of that round, that you can often create so much value with just 1 ultimate, and that's exactly what Rue did there. She had a Spectre, she managed to go in for a bit of a half buy, but her and Margot both managed to completely turn the round over on its head there. I don't think BASSISIX were expecting that Frenzy to be so impactful at that range, but Margot somehow makes it work, and off the back of that, she's going to be having her lockdown, which is why I think they're heading towards this A site right now. But look who's waiting for them in heaven, Grammy. It's none other than the KO.
This is an interesting play coming in from BASSISIX. They have four players stacked up outside B main coming in for this flank, but I do think that the players of Starlight, they're kind of expecting some aggression to come through on the side of BASSISIX, which I do think is a pretty good call. You see all of them, all five of them stacked up outside of A, just waiting for BASSISIX to make a move.
The push isn't coming from the angle that they expected, though, which might be a bit of a problem here. You can already see how far KitKat has gotten, and the alarm bot, well, it's going to give away their position any second right now, so they're going to have to either make a call, fight the people coming behind them, or try to make their way onto the side, because they're looking at being pincered right now. And yep, the alarm bot is going to go out. That's going to be the information that there's at least one player flanking them. Already you can see KitKat with the Blade Storm trying to have value, but not really finding anything. Legend Queen with 3 on the round already as they make their way onto side. It's all up to just KitKat right now. A 1v3 left to clutch out. Spike finally going down on Marga. I think she's unexpected here. She peeks out, but it's Earthless. It's going to be Rue who takes that fight head on and gets that pick. They managed to save that ult as well, so the lockdown is going to still be available for that next round for Starlight.
And with the lockdown in combination with the cosmic divide or even the nightfall, there's gonna be so much, so many different plays that Starlight they can do here. Provided that this is gonna be a full buy round for both teams, we just felt it with that half shields. But if ARF they're able to take this round away from BASSISIX, they're gonna be in a very good position to kind of try and snowball this first half, because they do have the economy kind of stacked up now, with Crescents actually running 7,000 credits in a bank.
Yeah, Crescent is looking rich there. Also, just one away from that null command. So they have three ults already online and a horde that is just one away. So Starlight are looking stacked on this particular round. BASSISIX, they have their job really cut out for them. They too have some ultimates that they can work with though. But this is gonna be the last round where they can really afford to buy in. And if they don't somehow convert this, it's going to make things very, very rough. I think one of the players has DC'd, so until we get back from them, talking about the way BASSIX is playing on this defense, it's kind of impressive because they're not afraid to really get aggressive, take those fights. You saw that it could have value when, for example, KitKat was able to get a pick down towards um this B link area here when she dashed in and managed to take down Crescent. So their aggression is paying off for them, but more often than not, they're gambling towards the wrong side, I think, or their aggression comes a little bit too late. So that is not ideal for them.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Rena. Just right in that previous round, we did see a four-man flank coming through on the side of BASSISIX, but they it was just I do think it was a little bit too slow, because by the time they arrived, they were already caught out by the alarm bot, and the players of Starlight, they were already pushing onto the side with Angela on BASSISIX. She wasn't really able to do anything much, because the heaven control was denied by that nano swarm that Margot put down there, so she wasn't really able to peek out as well and try to get a pick or two and cause some chaos on the site.
Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate, but nevertheless, I think that they're slowly managing to figure things out, and if they can do it in time and put up like a pretty strong defending half, they might be able to perform quite well on attack because Kit Kat, that's her specialty, like excelling on attack here. Also, it seems like Angela, she looks a little bit uncomfortable on that KO role. I think that before today we only really seen her play the jet or that chamber. So stepping in from the shoes of basically duelist to an initiator, I think that she's still finding her footing there.
Yeah, especially with both those agents having a basically a get out of jail free card, she might have a little bit of trouble adapting to the playstyle of the KO, because you don't really have the security or the comfort of being able to get out of almost impossible situations now, that you don't really have that mobility option, and but instead what you have are a couple of flashes and even a fragment, the molly as well, and the 0 point to gather so much information is, I do think it's going to be really really useful. She's not going to be as aggressive as we've seen her on a jet or a chamber, but I do think she will provide a lot of value to a team, especially since now the Null command is ready.
Yeah, I think that's going to be very important because in Command, we've seen how it can really help enable take these sites really, really quickly. So that's going to be something to watch out for. Crescent as well, like I mentioned, one away. So one of the things that AR Starlight love to do, I was watching their VODs yesterday, is to just run up A short off the back of the null command, throw down a fragment towards that area where the lockdown is used for retake, and just get run into side off the back of that. Just smoke off that angle and run into side. So they will be able to, in fact, use both of these ults in conjunction if necessary. They have four ults that each of them by themselves can help take the site themselves. Like Margot's Lockdown, for example. If you're gonna pop it, it's gonna give you most of the side towards B. Shabby's Cosmic Divide is used so often. If you put it right towards the A side, you can just plant the spike in that corner, and utility only utility can get through. People are gonna spray you down, so that's a valuable ult as well. So Starlight, they're just looking stacked right now.
I do think maybe in one of the upcoming rounds we're gonna see kind of a battle between the KOs. Basically, who can click the now command first, who can kind of activate that ability first, and with that, it's gonna shut down basically almost all the utility on the other side of uh, the the server. So I think in one of these rounds, it's gonna come down to that.
Yeah, it always comes down to first mover's advantage, right? If you know the lockdowns are available for both these KOs, the person who manages to pop it first is gonna be able to shut down the other KO's lockdown. So that is huge there, and especially when you're on attack, you want to be sure that you're the first one really doing that. The 0 point coming in from the defense, not really giving away much information. In the meantime, Crescent is able to get that null command online, so that is an out that they can definitely look forward to using in this particular round. I think now that they have managed to get the auto orb, it's going to be back towards the A side where the rest of the team is waiting. Two players waiting with the spike to make their way on. But this play, it seems like ARF Starlight have a bit of a read on it because it's three players who are playing around this A area.
I do think that BASSISIX, they're trying to adapt to Starlight's playstyle. You see them not getting as aggressive as before. The even KitKat, she's not really going in for these aggressive plays anymore with the help of Angela. Instead, what they're doing now is running more of a default, and now come on, it's gonna come through for Angela here to try and stall any push that the player of Starlight have Cosmic Divide to fall as well, and that's gonna trigger the rotation coming in from Starlight.
Yeah, that was a great two ults being used by the defense to completely deny any kind of purchase onto that A side. But off the back of that,
30
everyone's going to be
seconds
running
left.
over towards B instead. And this Cosmic Divide, it's going to cut off all the noise coming in for the defenders here. It seems like Miguel is still aware, though, that that might be where the B push is coming in. And yep, that's going to
You
be the
might
null
be
command
blinded.
popped in counter. The Cosmic Divide as well. All three ults, in fact, used by the side of ARF Starlight to make their way onto the site here. They are going to find it empty open
10
for the
seconds
taking, and
left.
they should be able to get the spike down without too much trouble. But
Spike
all
planted.
five players, Grimmy, they're going to be stuck on site here.
You should
And
run.
Felcher has her lockdown.
That's definitely not a good sign. But it's Margot who puts down her lockdown first. The defender lockdown gonna come through as well. And these players, BASSISIX, they kind of have to respect it. But on the other side, they are gonna be running right into one of the players on BASSISIX. But Crescent is able to take her out. Senderi falls.
Oh, two players left stuck inside that lockdown here, and seems like the defuse is just trying to come through. They're gonna be stuck in such an awkward angle, but the defuse, Felcher just sticks it. She just sticks the defuse, and she's gonna be able to get the round for BASSISIX off the back of that. It's going to be 3 ults committed by Air of Starlight. 4 ults, in fact. They used all of them during that round, Remy, and they still lost it.
It was a really heavy investment coming in from Starlight right there. This pop flash is good by Crescents, but unfortunately, I think these players, they were just kind of stuck on the site for a little bit too long, and Felcher, she's just gonna be able to stick the defuse right under the Starlight players' noses.
That was such a beautiful play. You pop the lockdown, you know that the side is going to be clear or people are going to be trapped, and then you put down your C's towards CT, which is the only angle that these players could have really run because you know that door is closed. That was a gorgeous retake. In this particular round, though, the economy yet again not looking the healthiest for these Starlight players. They still managed to get that first pick as Sentry gets a little bit too greedy off the back of that flash. Felcher, though, she's able to trade back quickly on the opposite side of the map as Crescent goes down. These players from Starlight, they're trying to farm these ult orbs every single round, and I think that at this point the expectation is there from the basic players, so they're able to at least try and do some damage.
I mean,
Bot
definitely.
coming
So
back.
they're as we've seen before, their ultimates are really handy for trying to get them space onto the site, especially Rue's showstopper. She's just 2 away from it here. If she's able to find a frag or two, she might be able to get it up and running, but the paint shells are going to come through. The Seas to deny the space and Nano Swamps as well. The Boom Ball is actually going to find Felcher, who's already so low. Miguel trying to spray through the smoke, but unfortunately the shots do not connect onto anyone at all.
3v4 right now, and it seems like the site is more or less taking KitKat though. She chimes in, and if she has anything to say about it, she's not going to let BASSISIX lose this round here. Shabi in such a pivotal position towards his main angle. She's going to be the first to hold down the line to clear out the board, and she's going to be able to get the pick onto KitKat. All down to just Angela right now in this 1v3 situation. I don't think they know exactly where her position is, but she knows where Shabi is. It's not going to matter though, because Shabi with a 3k on the round is still going to be able to get ARF exactly where they need it to be and get that equalizer online.
In this coming round, the players of BASSISIX, they won't really have the economy to work with. We saw kind of a half buy coming through already, and yeah, this time around they're gonna go in for this eco. We just see half shields. KitKat does have the Blade Storm at the ready though, but the rest of these players, they are gonna be running a Sheriff, Miguel, Felcher with that Frenzy, so I think it might come down to how much damage they can do to the economy of Starlight here.
That might be the case, and of course the Blade Storm, we've seen how much impact KitKat can have with it before. This time around it's going to be BASSISIX who tried to go in for that ult orb. They will get it, but in the meantime the B side is open. They managed to get a pick, but KitKat with that beautiful up jump play is going to be able to get a pick, trading things back here. At least towards the B side things look a bit safer, but the A side is still extremely vulnerable right now. That's 2 weapons dropped though, so both Felcher and KitKat might be able to pick up these guns if necessary. KitKat though, she's happy to just stick with the Blade Storm, and for a good cause, because she's able to get that clean shot onto ARF Legend Queen. Just 2 players left for both of these teams, and KitKat, she's still alive. The 3rd kill for the round, and she takes down Shabi off the back of that Blade Storm. Just Margot left. She has to close out this 1v2. She knows there's a player towards heaven. Does manage to connect the headshot and gets the clutch. Takes them both somehow, and ARF Starlight, what looked like a round that could have gone very badly for them, they still hold on.
What a play coming in from both these players. KitKat, notable mention here, finds 3 with the Blade Storms. Margot is the one who clutches it out. I think it was basically almost a 90-degree flick from KitKat's direction to Felcher, and that is gonna trigger the timeout to come through.
A good timeout, I think, that they really needed to call, because BASSISIX, well, they've been having a bit of trouble dealing with the aggression coming in from Starlight, and that they are not having any more success on the retakes that they've been trying to play for either. So they need to, really figure out their strategy. So even if this is a timeout called by Starlight, I think it's a great place for BASSISIX to really reconsider how they're doing as well. But I like this from Starlight. They know that they have the lead. They know that they're going to be dealing with a pull by coming in from their opponents again, and they don't want to mess up. They want to make sure that their battle strategies are in place. Though I'm pretty sure I know what it's going to be, because they do have the showstopper online yet again from Rue, and we saw how devastating that could be on an eco round of all things.
Yeah, definitely. So especially since Crescent does have the now command once again at the ready, Shabi and Legit Queen both 1 away from their own ultimates as well. So if they're able to farm up these ultimate orbs, I think they might be they will be in a really good position to try and close out this round and bring them to 6 points.
It is the case, and Starlight, well, they're incredibly successful on their attacking halves, and for a good reason. We can see exactly why they're not afraid to really charge these ultimates up and use them when it's necessary. This time around, it seems like it is going to be coming in towards B. The null command being activated right off the back, and it's going to be the Killjoy utility immediately shut down. The showstopper is popped as well as they try to shoot it towards the backside. It's going to be a Rosa ult, not really finding any value, but nevertheless, the site has been taken, and this time around, it seems like the players from ARF Starlight are aware that they shouldn't be all playing on site, and they're going to be playing towards this main area instead. So a lot of work coming in right now for these BASSISIX players. A full 5-1-5 retake. They're going to have to methodically clear out so many of these angles here.
But Legit Queen, she does have the Nightfall at the ready if she so chooses to use it. It's going to be really instrumental coming through, but KitKat is the one who finds that first pick onto Legit Queen, taking out that Nightfall. No more Nightfall for you. And as the players storm onto the side, as Rue who picks up 2, Miguel tries to stem the bleeding here, but Shabi is behind 2 of these BASSISIX players, finds the first, finds the second as well to close out the round for ARF Starlight here.
Incredible patience coming in from Shabi. She saw her teammate fighting towards this main area, but after Margot went down, she didn't take the bait. She didn't immediately start spraying for the smoke. She was happy to play for time, waited, and she was rewarded for that patience as she takes down those two players on lane. And yet again, the economy looking so dire right now for these players from base six. They do have two ultimates ready, almost three. If Miguel can get a kill, she's gonna have that available. But apart from that, they don't really have much to work with in this round. Just that solitary Marshall coming in from KitKat right now. And it's not going to be positioned anywhere near the main area, which is where these players seem to want to push in. They do have the Nightfall as well as the Cosmic Divide. They are ready to go in off the back of that. And oh, that flash is going to catch Angela, who gets spotted out and taken down. A bit unfortunate there. Sandary does find one in the meantime, but nevertheless, the man advantage remains in the hands of these Starlight players.
The spike plant is gonna go down on this A side though. Margot is able to pick up a kill too, in fact, onto KitKat's all up to Felcher. 1v4 situation. Has the Sheriff is in hand, does think of the head of Legit Queen, but Shelby swings and finds that head of Felcher instead. 7 points on the board for Starlight.
They look like they're on track for making it 8 as well at this rate, but nevertheless, this is a round which BASSISIX have a huge shot of winning because number one, KitKat has managed to pick up that operator. We haven't really seen her having it before this juncture in time, so that might be huge coming in for them. And if she can get those initial picks, it's going to be in their advantage. Number two, they have three ultimates, almost four available. The Lockdown, the Null Command, as well as the Nightfall are all really good when you're trying to retake a site because it blinds players, it shuts down their utility. They're just helpless there at that juncture. So that might be something that they really need in order to, if they decide to play for this retake instead. The operator, at the wrong angle yet again, seems like it won't be finding much value, at least in the onset.
I mean, no, unless KitKat decides to get aggressive. I do think the players of BASSISIX, they're aware there are a couple of players on the side of Starlight waiting outside of A to execute. On the other side of the map, Margot actually playing from Taos, trying to find these BASSISIX players if try and punish them if they're trying to go aggressive here. But the spike is going to be rotating back towards this B side, which I think is a pretty good call because Sender is the only one left there.
She does have that. If she can get a kill, though, she will have that Cosmic Divide. And backup has arrived as well in the form of Angela, who has a Null Command ready to pop. So the moment any kind of smoke goes up and any kind of sound is heard, it's going to be the utility coming in. Already you can hear Angela popping that Null Command. That's going to shut down all the utility for these players from ARF Starlight, who are just going to wait it out, I think, before they really head on to that site there.
Oh, KitKat manages to find Shabi though. That's the Astra player gone for the side of Starlight. That means they don't really have the smokes to try and close out these angles. But instead, what they do have is the lockdown in the form of Margot here. The spike plant is going to be making its way back towards Ado, but Sandary finds that pick up onto Crescent's 3v5 situation here.
Marco does manage to get that trade out though, and in the meantime, on the A side, the spike is going to be dropped, and it's all down to just Rue, who is very, very far away. No time left for her to really do anything, and we're looking at a 5-7 half here, Grimmy.
I think that was really well played for the side of BASSISIX, especially since KitKat was kind of pushing out with that operator to try and get a pick, trying to get some information on where these players of Starlight were. And she was rewarded for that, taking out Shabi. That just means that there's so much utility gone on the side of Starlight that could have been used to execute on the side. And with that lockdown coming through, the players of Starlight were really running down the clock there. The lockdown coming through just secured them the round.
Yeah, that was a really great play where they managed to buy so much time that the players from the side of Starlight they were forced to run between sides. KitKat wrecking havoc towards mid, shutting it down with that operator, and the sides they just couldn't get in. That Null Command was huge from Angela because it completely derailed any kind of potential push coming in from those Starlight players. I think they got a little they gave a little bit too much respect to their opponents, and that's exactly why they ended up losing that round. But nevertheless, 7-5 is nothing to scoff at. They are starting off the next half with a slight advantage. If they can convert this pistol, that's going to be huge for them, Grimmy.
Yeah, definitely agree with you right there, but I don't think you can really count these BASSISIX players out as well. If they do manage to secure the first pistol round, that means they set the tying up. They most likely set the tying up the scoreline.
That is the case, and I think that's what they're going to be looking to do. But I know I was looking at the stats for these teams, and Starlight, well, they're a bit more successful on their attack than their defense. But the same cannot be said for the side of these players from BASSISIX, because you know the one time where they played this map, it was a perfect 13-0. Sure, it was in the group stages. Sure, it was against a team which probably is not as good as ARF Starlight is, but they're one of the few teams that have gotten a 13-0 during the course of this tournament. So, I don't know. BASSISIX, they have the potential to possibly steal this map away if they play their cards right.
I definitely agree with you right there, Zach. I mean, 13-0, even though maybe it's not it wasn't maybe in the playoffs, I do think it's nothing to scoff at as well, because that just means you basically didn't give your opponents any sort of fighting chance to come back at all, and I think that's really insane coming in from them, and that might be kind of that might just be telling of maybe how these basic six players can try and bring back this map in their favor.
Yep. Anyway, though, we are going to be heading back into the game right now. So let's see if BASSISIX can indeed, like you said, Gravy, bring things back into their favor. You can see that KitKat has a little bit of a grudge against the Jet there. I don't know. She looks very pissed. But yes, distractions apart, it does seem like on this attacking half, they BASSISIX, they do want to go in for this A hit. And yet again, if they decide to do that, there are 3 players waiting for them from Starlight's side.
And not only that, on the side of Starlight, they do have a lot of stalling utility in the form of the Astra Pool, the Gravity Well, and Rue as well with the Paint Shells, and not to mention Crescents with her utility here. The Flash Drive can be so useful in stalling these pushes, but the 0 point is going to come through. Not really going to find much value there, but they are aware that a couple players of BASSISIX stacked up outside A.
A very slow round is what it seems like this is going to be. Already, control has been taken up short, but this is going to be the first notification these players are really getting for it. 2 players playing aggressively towards main. Both Crescents and Rue are not afraid to take this fight. Crescent spawning out the Jet there, fighting these players, but BASSISIX, they have the man advantage right now. Marga finally stopping the bleeding. It's all down to just Legend Queen and Marga, who is incredibly low. KitKat already towards this heaven angle. She's going to be playing extremely aggressively here. Her trademark, so as to speak, and Marga, it seems like she's willing to come all the way around the map to see if she can perhaps get the jump on these players. Legend Queen has so much work to do here, because the first fight that she really has to face is by clearing out this angle in heaven where it is going to be KitKat playing. It's going to come down to timing. KitKat also has that additional pesky armor, so that's going to make things even worse. That Haun's being thrown down is going to give away the position. Angela finding one, and KitKat, well, she's got to catch Legend Queen with her knife out. Pistol goes to BASSISIX, and we're looking at an equalizer.
It was a really good round coming out from BASSISIX, because these players of Starlight, I think it was Rue and Crescents, they were pushed up outside of A, the choke point outside of A, and basically what the players of BASSISIX did is that they kind of trapped them in that small corner with nowhere to run. Everywhere they went, it was a 2v2 situation for them, and just by closing in on them here and taking them out, it just gave them the sight. And this time around, it's BASSISIX who are able to pick up that Spectre buys here.
They do have those upgrades, and off the back of that, it seems like AR of Starlight, they're going to be getting a little bit aggressive here. 4 players pushing out, in fact. It seems like a repeat of the play coming in from what BASSISIX did on their defensive half. Sandari on the lurk as well. She doesn't have the information, though, that that there are so many players towards this A side. However, they do know that B is empty, so they can probably predict that this is going to be the case. Rue peeks out just a little bit late, just a little bit behind the times here, as the spike will go down, and we're looking at a full 5-on-5 retake. Now, looking at the post-plant positions for these players, they're going to be playing 3 towards main.
I think Senderi might hear the footsteps of 4 players running in her direction, though. He's gonna close off that angle from CT as well to try and deny as much information from the players of Starlight here. 4 players coming in from the flank with an alarm bot to clear out. The paint shell is gonna come through for Rue. They have so much work to do, especially since the alarm bot is gonna get the debuff on the players of ARF Starlight. Angela and Felcher good for a couple of kills, with one as well. But I do think overall, Starlight, they did quite a bit of damage to the economy of BASSISIX.
Yeah, they took out KitKat's armor, they took down 2 of those Spectres, so that's going to make this bonus round much more tough for them. Regardless, the fact that they converted it, that's going to be a W in the favor of the basic six players who aren't going to be forcing in their content to play this bonus as it is the two players who died. They're just going to be upgrading, going in for those sheriffs or perhaps a stinger that you see coming in from PP Pelcha, which scares me because honestly, the stinger is one of the most scariest budget guns that you can really pick up in Valorant. The full buy though, finally kicking in for ARF Starlight. Is it going to work? Because right now towards this A side, they have two players. They have the Raze as well as the Astra. We've seen that this combo can have a lot of value, and I think because of that, it's going to be a bit of a slow push coming in right now from these basis six players.
If BASSISIX are able to find his first pickup, that might be a really strong turning point for them in this round. But the Bombot is gonna spot them out though. So Ru, she's not really gonna give them anything. She knows that these players are basic. They have to force their way onto the side, and that is exactly what they're gonna do. Tailwind onto the side. Ru is the one who stalls the push coming in from Felshire, but Miguel with the trade kick as well. Shabi finds one in the midst of the chaos, but right now it's still at a 3v3 situation.
More than that, I think one of the guns can actually be picked up. So there's a Vandal open for the taking right now. Miguel tries to go for that, I presume, and it's going to be shutting them down. It's all down to just KitKat and Shabi. She's going to be able to connect a clean headshot. And what looked like a round that could have possibly swung in the favor of Basis 6, it's still going to be AR Starlight who take it, who don't lose their heads. This risky play from Rue, it did result in the spike being dropped as well as her getting a pick. But apart from that, it was still a great hold coming in from these players from ARF here.
And definitely agree with you right there. Just losing two weapons in the midst of that chaos, especially with five players running straight at you, is no small feat, I believe. And coming to this next round, we are going to see the rifle buys coming through for both teams, except for Crescents, who does have a Spectre, but is one away from the now command.
A lot of ultimates very close to fruition here. Miguel is also just one away from that ninth post, so there is a lot hinging on these uh getting these auto orbs or just getting those first picks right off the bat. That 0 point already giving away the position of some of these ARF players right now. In the meantime, the look at KitKat. She's managed to walk her way up A short, and the rest of her team seems to be following her. It seems like A is going to be where the hit is coming in any second. That Prowler figuring out where Shabi is for the rest of the team, and off the back of that, they're gonna be forced off the angle. That pain shows from Rudo. It's gonna buy so much time there. A
Not
beautiful
only
combo.
that, the fragment come through from Crescents as well. The Prowler, one more invested on the side of basis 6, but not much value gained as of yet. This alarm bot though is gonna spot out this alert coming in from Senderi.
Seems like they're switching directions now as they go in towards this B push instead. The door broken, and it seems like the B side is where they're going to be pushing in with the spike. It's all going to be come down to just Margot here, who gets unfortunately detected by that haunt. So now they know that she is playing towards the CT angle. The side itself is clear, so at least the plan should be able to come down. But apart from Crescent, who is on the lurk, Crescent and Miguel, both of these players lurking down towards mid, everybody else is going to be stuck on site.
I do think that the players of ARF Starlight, they're kind of aware of this. You see them try to go in and regain this map control here. Legit Queen has spot out one of the players of basis 6. Miguel finds the first pick, but Margot trades it right back. The flash drive is good, but the shots do not connect onto Margot right there. The 0 point to come through as well. Spots on the shoulder. KitKat is the one who finds the pick onto Ru as the players of ARF Starlight, they try to make their way back onto the side. Senderi picks up 2 kills in fact, and Angela closes out the round, bringing the game once again to a tie.
That was a beautiful crossfire between KitKat and Senderi on that site. They just managed to catch every single player coming into the site between them, and that's going to trigger a timeout coming in from Starlight because their economy is broken. They're not going to really be able to buy into this round. They're going to have to deal with a half buy, and they really don't want to lose this map because it is their map pick, and you do know that BASSISIX is quite strong on fractures, so it's something that they want to really capitalize on. They want to make sure that they have this advantage going in, and that's a good time to call a timeout. So, what do you think they should do, Gummy?
I mean, I do think they might want to try and get maybe a pick or two off the back of the when the round initially starts, because basis 6 they've done that a couple of times and they found quite a bit of value from it. So if AR Starlight they're able to kind of recreate that, especially since I do think Ru, she might be able to go aggressive with the help of Shabi, Legit Queen, and Crescents especially. they that could be kind of what triggers a change in how this game is gonna go.
It could honestly go either way, but right now it seems like BASSISIX they might be able to take the lead unless ARF Starlight pull off some magic with those Sheriff buys and of course the Frenzy. Marga, we saw her get two last time around with the Frenzy on defense, but can she pull out the same magic on attack is going to be the question. BASSISIX, it seems like they want to go in for an A push here where there are three players from the defender stacked here already. You see Legend Queen happy to get a little bit aggressive towards this area. The turret being broken is going to give away information that there is a push coming in towards B. And ooh, look at this ratty angle from Senderi.
Sandra, you're just kind of lying in wait for these ARF Starlight players to come running at her. He's gonna spot out both these players, but the shots aren't already gonna connect. Faucha is the one who picks up the kill onto Rue, and Senderi finally picks up the kill onto Legit Queen as well. But side push is coming on the other side of the map. Actually, they're gonna get stalled by this utility being placed down by Shabi here. The gravity well is good to try and deny so much space and time for these players of Starlight to kind of rotate back in. The spike plant not gonna go down as of yet, but Shabi picks up two, and the Sheriff Crescent's good for one as well with the Frenzy. And it seems like they're trying to turn the tides around. Shabi actually picks up three, and Marco once again with that Frenzy. A thrifty round for Air Starlight to try and pull the lead back in their favor.
Shabby, that was insane coming in from her. The fact that she managed to get 3 kills from this angle, despite her position being known, especially that second shot onto Miguel, that was incredibly clean coming in. And that's what I said. These you cannot underestimate the damage that these frenzies and sheriffs can do. It was a phenomenal run coming in from ARF Starlight, and that tactical timeout really worked out in their favor. That's the nicest way I can say it. Right now, though, it is going to be Kit Kat who is looking to get that Blade Storm. She is only one away from it, and that's probably going to be what she's playing off. We saw the damage that she could do the last time around with that particular ultimate, so that is what probably these players from BASSISIX are banking on, as it is going to be their economy looking to be in a bit of a rough spot here.
They are going to be able to pick up that ultimate orb. Kit Kat has that Blade Storms online, but now the players of Era Starlight, they're aware that a couple of players of BASSISIX waiting outside this main position. Despite gonna be retrieved by Angela here as they prepare for perhaps a side execute here. Exchange of Prowlers coming through, but the push is good from both these players. Senderi catches the first. Margot falls. Angela good for another as well on the Crescents.
Two players already falling down towards main here. It's gonna come down to just Shabi to hold down the line, because it does seem like they're heading for this A site instead, and it's gonna come down to her. She has so much work to do here, and the first angle that she's playing, she's gonna be caught unfortunately with her pull out, but she still manages to stay alive, getting two somehow. In fact, on the round, can she get a third? No, it's going to be it. It's all down to just Legend Queen in a 1v3 situation, and Senderi is gonna shut that down. Senderi going so huge during the course of this particular round, always lurking, always lying in wait and punishing ARF Starlight if they get a bit too aggressive. Beautiful round from BASSISIX as they manage to take down the mid players, but Shabby, man, she is in form today.
I definitely agree with you right there. She was the only one left on side, and she had so much work ahead of her, especially since all 5 players were basically running in her direction. The gravity well was good to try and stall the push from coming in, and it even caught Kit Kat off guard, so she was able to pick up that kill. But this time around, Starlight, there's gonna be 3 ultimates at the ready, and just Rue and Legit Queen 1 away from their own as well.
Yeah, but they don't really have a buy here. That's the major issue. They only have that Hero Vandal on Shabby. Everybody else is going to be playing with pistols or like sheriffs. Belcha already peeking out, is able to get the first pick, gets a second as well. So that's going to be 2 players already falling towards this B main area. It's all down to just Crescent, who is not going to be able to find anything because Kit Kat, she's not afraid to push. She's just going to come down to Shabby and Marga, make that just Shabby as she also goes down. 10-9 right now as BASSISIX take the lead off the back of that flawless attack round.
What a flawless round coming in to bring BASSISIX their double digits here. Felcher, double kill right here in this position in B main. And Senderi and Kit Kat with the follow-up as well. Unfortunately, Shabby unable to recreate that magic, but this time though, Starlight, they have all their ultimates at the ready. On the other side though, BASSISIX, they have a couple of key ultimates as well. The Nightfall and Malcolm is so good for side takes, and even the Cosmic Divide on Senderi as well.
Yeah, a lot of ultimates that you really want to watch out for here. Already, though, you can see Rue getting a little bit aggressive, picking up Felcher off the back of that play towards B-Link, and it's going to trigger the rotation now. Senderi, she's watching mid, but the other players are going to be heading towards this A side instead. And it's a good call because it's only Marga who's playing on this particular angle. However, that turret is going to spot out Senderi, so now they're perhaps aware that the push might be coming towards the A side instead. Rue, she's going to be coming here for the backup, and she still has her paint show, so that can be quite annoying if you want to try and push through it.
And not only that, they do have a lot of ultimates ready for a retake here. The Cosmic Divide and the Knife are going to come through on the attacker side, but the Lava try and stall these players on the side of BASSISIX from coming in. KitKat tailwinds onto the side anyway, and these players of BASSISIX, they're going to be able to get that spike plant down.
They have it in gear, and that Cosmic Divide is going to make things a bit more difficult. Both the KOs somehow managed to pop their ultimates just before it strikes. Already you see Sticky Crescent and Shabi running it down from heaven. Oh my god, the push comes in from every side, and it seems like BASSISIX, they're going to be overwhelmed right now by the players coming in from the side of ARF Starlight, who get the defuse 10-10. What a match. This is so close right now. 2 flawless rounds back-to-back, just being won by different teams. Whew.
I'm kind of confused. How did both KOs manage to pop their now command? Were they kind of out of range of each other, or was there like a timing right before the other player got suppressed? I'm a bit.
It's the second part. Like there's like a little bit of time before the first wave hits, right? So she managed to pop hers in that time. It was very close, trust me, but nevertheless, it is going to be Starlight who take that round, and economy is still there for both of these teams. They are going to be able to buy in even if they lose this, but the ultimates, they're still huge right now remaining for the side of Starlight. They have that Nightfall, they have that Lockdown, and of course that Cosmic Divide from Shabi, which has been around for I think the past 3 or 4 rounds that she hasn't had a chance to use yet or felt the need to use yet. Starlight, well, even if the weapons are the same, ultimate wise, they're looking much better right now.
I definitely agree with you. Right, there's Zach. Hot to come through. So the players of Starlight, they're aware that there might be a push coming in onto this A side. Nano Swarm being used as well. Tailwind as KitKat crosses this garden position now. A crossfire being held by both these players, KitKat and Angela. What can you find? Margot is the one who finds that first pick. Spots out the shoulder of KitKat as well, but she's able to escape with her life.
This is important because Angela is dead, so that's going to be no more fragments available. There's no counter available for that lockdown coming in right now from Margo if she chooses to use it. Miguel does manage to take down both KOs shut down right now for both of these teams, and it's going to come down to a 4v4 retake. The Cosmic Divide is popped, the lockdown is invested, and anybody who's going to be playing outside, they're going to have to fight it out if they want to peek here. Senderi finding one somehow, Margo getting the trade though. Nightfall invested as well, and everybody from the side of the BASSISIX are going to have to run out. One player stuck on site, 2v2 right now. The defuse is going to be tapped, and it's going to have to be Senderi who makes her way forward. Will be caught in this crossfire. KitKat, it's down to a 1v1. KitKat has to close this out if she wants BASSISIX to take the lead. The spike is tapped by Legend Queen. The dash, though, that's going to prove to be such a distraction, and KitKat is going to be able to win this round, not just off of time, but also with that beautiful headshot. 3 ultimates invested by AR Starlight, and they still don't get the round.
This was a really good hold coming out from the side of BASSISIX to try and stall so much time before these players of Starlight had to push in. And I do think this was pretty good positioning from both Margot and Legit Queen as well, because the turret caused so much distraction for Senderi right there, and she wasn't really aware of where to look. She had like 3 things looking in her direction, the turret as well as 2 players, and she was, unfortunately for her, she was unable to land the shots there. But KitKat, she just stepped it up right there, able to close it out 1v2 situation to bring BASSISIX once again in the lead.
Right now, no real ultimates available apart from Felch's Lockdown, which is probably what they're looking to use here towards this B side. Yep, they're gonna be popping it, and I think because of the suppression coming through, Crescent won't be able to use that fragment either. So it is going to be the side probably taken right now. Rue, I think, perhaps trying to see if she can hide onto side and not get caught by this lockdown here, but she's nevertheless going to be stuck between Angela and KitKat as they sprayed her down. 4v3. sorry, 4v5 right now. The retake, the advantage is still on for the side of these BASSISIX players who are holding incredible angles right now. The crossfires, especially on site, are pretty good. Main has been cleared, but unfortunately for Shabi, she's gonna be caught in the open here. Miguel trying to desperately keep the dream alive, trying to desperately take this fight here. Awkward, so awkward. Margo finds one, but that's gonna be it before Felcher cleans it up. Match point for BASSISIX, just one away from victory, and that was a very, very awkward fight here coming from Miguel.
I do think this was really good positioning coming out from Miguel, because she spotted out the shoulder of the Astra, right? And once the Astra was taken out, that means no more smokes, no more Astra utility on the site for Starlight to come in and retake the site. And BASSISIX, they get their match point off the back of that. ARF Starlight, they are on the back foot right now in terms of economy.
Yeah, not really much in the way of a buy. You do see one Vandal, but that's going to be on Shabi with light armor. She's compromising a little bit on utility as well. Only has two smokes to really play with, so that's going to make things very, very rough right now. Everybody else is going to have Spectres, and Freck Legend Queen, she only has a Sheriff to her name. So if BASSISIX can really manage to snowball their way onto site, they have the momentum, they have the guns, they have everything going in their favor. They're going to be heading towards A short right now, where the Killjoy utility is stacked up. It's going to be Shabi who finds that first crucial pick. Crescent Cell as well, with the Spectre goes huge there, but it's going to come back down to a 3v3. Spike, it's still in possession of these players from BASSISIX. Angela, though, she's able to pick up Shabi. That's going to be the Vandal drop. That's going to be one of the most crucial kills which side of BASSISIX could find here. 3v2, and it seems like Starlight, it's almost over for them, Remy.
Vando's still gonna be retrieved by Legit Queen there though, and Miguel just a fraction of her health remaining. So this is definitely still a winnable situation for Starlight here. The Cosmic Device is gonna come down. Miguel good for one. Nightfall as well to add insult to injury. Legit Queen stuck in 1v3. What more can you do? A fall to Sandori as BASSISIX take the first map.
A beautiful win coming in from them, but that went down to the wire. So many grounds were so incredibly close, and of course a lot of those thrifties coming through were pretty incredible. Nevertheless, though, it is going to be BASSISIX who are the ultimate winners for today, and they're gonna be stealing away the map pick of ARF Starlight away from that's gonna end ARF's 100% win rate on Ascent, by the way. A little bit sad for them, but BASSISIX, they deserve kudos. They played that so well, and we have to talk about KitKat, man. The amount of impact that she had, so many rounds, just being able to create that level of space. You were right, when you talked about the duelist difference. I think that was one of the major differences between these two teams.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you right there. Even though Raze has much more utility in corner clearing, the impact that KitKat had in just gaining so much space onto the site was really, I think, what brought BASSISIX so much closer to closing out so many rounds, because they were able to clear site with the rest of the team pushing in behind the Jet, as well as the Spike plant going down. Even if they're in retake situations, the Jet is so useful in creating space and coming in for these retakes. And we gotta give kudos to the players of AR Starlight as well, especially Shabi. That Sheriff round was insane from her. But we're gonna be taking a look at the scoreboard here to find out who exactly is the MVP.
I mean, it's probably gonna be KitKat and Shabi. I'm willing to bet, but let's take a look. Oh, never mind. It's gonna be Marga and Senderi. I'm wrong. Hog. So it is gonna be Marga who is showing up huge with 20 kills right now for the side of ARF Starlight. I think that her 1v2 clutch was pretty pivotal in them helping them to gain that lead during their attacking half. But on defense, Senderi, man, her utility just had so much impact so many of the times, and more than her utility this time around, she was just such a menace with those lurks on their attacking half. Like, they just could not deal with her.
Yeah, especially that one round where she found the spike carrier, found a spike carrier, I think, and then was able to find two more with a really nasty off angle, and that was absolutely insane coming out from Senderi right there. So well deserved MVP. But we are gonna be heading into Fracture later, but not. We're gonna take a look at the scoreboard right now. It is gonna be BASSISIX who do have, in terms of damage and headshot percentage, they are gonna be doing a little bit better in as compared to AR Starlight. But in terms of frags, it's not really gonna matter because they're about the same. I mean, that just goes to show that AR Starlight, their firepower is not to be messed with.
Yeah, I think any round where it was a direct 1-1, both of these teams had an equal chance of winning it. It was a really, really close map, and it was just the momentum, I think, that finally really helped BASSISIX swing their way forward. And I think the last three rounds that they won in a row, that was all momentum. So a little bit unfortunate right now for the ARF Starlight players who are going to be feeling the pressure heading into map number 2. But before we head to Fracture, we're going to be taking a short break, so stay right there. Welcome back, everyone, to this best of three elimination matchup between ARF, Starlight, and BASSIX. I'm Zach, and with me here is Grammy, and we're going to be casting today's matchup for the VCT Game Changers APAC LCQ tournament. And we're just coming off of an incredibly close, intense game on Ascent right now, Grammy. So, how are you feeling?
That Ascent map just got me pumped up for our upcoming matchup on Fracture. And just because of the fact that, okay, Ascent was Starlight's pick, right? Where they had a 100% win rate on, and they just lost that map pick to Basis 6. Who coming into the next map Fracture is not gonna be it is gonna be their map pick, and one which they have a 100% win rate on as well. So I think in this matchup, AR Starlight, they're just gonna try and do the same that Basis 6 did to them, just get rid of that with the 100% win rate right there.
I mean, they need to, otherwise they're gonna be eliminated from this tournament. So they're kind of staring down the barrel of the gun here. And the thing is, the last time that ARF Starlight really played on this map, it did not go too well for them, for lack of a better word. They lost 13-3. Sure, it's against one of the teams that's currently in the upper bracket, X10 Sapphire, one of the most experienced teams in the region. But still, 13-3. That's a little bit rough there. So they're gonna have to come back from not only their loss in the previous map on Ascent, but also the last time they played on Fracture. They have a lot of trauma to really deal with if they want to take this to Icebox, because I think that if ARF Starlight can win Fracture, Icebox could easily be anybody's game. But right now, it's looking quite challenging for them, especially considering that um they like to run the Sage on this particular map, and that kind of slows them down, especially the last time around. They switch between the duelists. AR Starlight like to switch between duelists here. They go in for the Raze or the Neon depending on what they're feeling like. So if they're not able to really have impact with the duelists, because we saw that last game, right? KitKat was just able to provide so much more value than Rue was over the course of the entire game. Why there were a lot of rounds where Rue did pop off. Overall, I think KitKat was just able to be a better duelist for the side of BASSISIX there. And I think if the same kind of situation arises on the map of Fracture, it's going to make things so rough for them.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you right there, Sage. Although I do think she's a pretty good pick for the map of Fracture. I do think that she's a pretty niche pick as well. As you kind of have to be running a certain team composition to be able to play off that much slower playstyle as compared to maybe if you're running a chamber instead, you can try and go for these aggressive picks. Or even if you replace that Sage pick with another initiator, that's gonna bring so much value, especially if you're looking to head on into these sites where there's gonna be a lot of angles to clear, and for the defense, there's gonna be so many angles to watch as well.
I mean, both of these teams, they run pretty similar comps. The only main difference is that Starlight sometimes likes to pick up the Raze instead of the Neon. That's the only difference here. Both of them, they run a single duelist, a double initiator comp here. They like going in for both that Sage and that Chamber, and I think it's great because on attack, Sage really lets you get into those sites by walling off a few areas. It makes the planting the spike much easier. As on defense, of course, you can buy a solid 30 seconds of time just by putting that Sage wall down, either towards Arcade or towards drop perhaps. So both these agents are incredibly versatile on both of these halves. And of course, well, we don't need to say much about Chamber. I think everybody has seen the kind of impact that Chamber can really have. I hope we do see Shabby pick up that Chamber again, because I kind of miss her on that agent.
I mean, she definitely showed us what she could do on an Astra, especially with the one type weapons like a Vandal or Sheriff. So as a chamber, this is a pre-nerf chamber, mind you. So I do think if she does pick up the chamber, she's gonna have so much value, especially with the Headhunter and the Tour de Force as well. And in terms of controllers, what do you think we're gonna see?
I think we're just going to see Brimstones, because I was looking through their previous games and they really haven't picked much apart from Brimstone. And right now, I think Brimstone is what you'd call the meta controller for this particular map. Sometimes you also see people pick up a Viper, but a Brimstone does the job. He's incredibly valuable when it comes to all the utility that his kit provides. The smokes, of course, they are extremely annoying, long lasting. They last longer than all the other smokes. So Brimstone smokes are, and of course, they're not like hollow inside like the Omen or the Astra smoke. So it makes a lot of confusion if you're trying to push through it. There could be utility coming at you. You're not gonna know until it strikes you. So, the Brimstone, his smokes are really good. His, of course, his kit, his Molly, as well as his ultimate, they again buy so much time when you're trying to deny defusal or just when you're pushing onto side. Like for example, if you want to get onto that B side, We just pop an ultimate towards the tower area. Odds are somebody's gonna be playing there, and if that's clearable, you can clear out the rest of the angles by yourself by putting down smokes. So he's a controller that provides a lot of versatility to how a team can really play. But we made our predictions. Let's see what exactly these players are gonna be picking up because we are gonna be heading into Agent Select right now.
I mean, coming into this map, how likely do you think we'll see the Neon over the Rays?
I think it's. I think that we're gonna be seeing Neon for sure for the side of BASSISIX. It's just for ARF Starlight that I'm not sure because Rue, she loves playing that Raze as her agent, but this time around she's gonna be taking the Neon instead. So I think we're looking at a mirror matchup here, Grammy. Both of the with the exception of Senderi, who has gone in for the KO instead of the stage. So this could be really good, considering that they are starting out off on attack. They are gonna be having those additional flashes to deal with, as well as that null command that enables them to like really get their way onto site super fast. So it's a good call coming in from them.
I definitely agree with you right there because that 0 point, it can shut down that stalling utility that the side of ARF Starlights have in the form of Crescents with that maybe a fault line, or Legit Queen with that slow orbs, barrier orbs, or even Shabby. That Headhunter is going to be really, really deadly to deal with for the side of BASSISIX. So if they can shut her down, that'll be phenomenal for them, and they will have an easier time trying to hit these sites.
I agree with you, and I think one more thing to note is the fact that Senderi, well, she her utility is going to be very very pivotal in a lot of these post plant situations because the fragment if she can hold on to that, she can throw it down to deny the diffuse. So if she and the brimstone can play together, that is going to be a lot of utility that they can really use to try and deny any kind of diffuse coming through. Post plant is looking great right now for the side of BASSISIX, and all they need to do is really capitalize on the utility which they have in the bank already.
Can we just talk about how versatile Kit Kat is? She's on Brimstone.
Kit Kat has proven over. I think she's played every single role so far over the past few days. We've seen her on the Duelist, we've seen her on the Killjoy, and we're seeing her on the Controller right now. So yeah, I think she's played everything, and yeah, she played the Initiator on Sky. Kit Kat, I think if there is any award going out right now for a player, I think Kit Kat deserves the most versatile player award.
Yeah, definitely agree with you right there. We did see her switch up the playstyle from the Killjoy over to the Jet from yesterday to today, and Cinderi actually off the back of that game on Ascent, she was on Astro around. She's coming in with a more aggressive agent in the form of the KO.
Ooh, I think we might be seeing a confrontation right off the bat between these two chambers. Felcha and Shabby towards this B main area, just lying in wait for each other. Who is going to peek the angle? First is a question that's
Oh,
going to be Felcha who finds the headshot. First pick going in favor of base assist. And, well, Felcha says, look, I know you're a good chamber, but so am I. And she makes the point with that very clean headshot. Rue as well is going to be shut down, and oh no, her position's going to be spotted. So much utility being dumped at her right now, desperately trying to stay alive. She'll manage to do that because her teammates are here for the backup. Four players right now from the side of BASSISIX. They're going to be choosing to fall back instead because they know there's a three stack coming in towards the A main area. They're heading towards this B site instead, and they should be able to have it for free because Legend Queen, she's going to be pushed off the angle and forced to play for retake for the rest of her team.
yeah, off the pick of Felcher right there, Shabby taken out. That just leaves Legit Queen 1 alone on the B side. So a rotation was definitely a really good call coming in from the side of BASSISIX. They are able to get the spike plant down, so the retake is going to be coming through right now. A really good incendiary to try and push these players back off this tower angle. Legit Queen finds the pick up onto Angela Felcher with the trade, but Margot fires right back. The tap is going to come through on the bomb, but Senderi somehow finds 3 kills. I think one of those was a collateral as well, so what a play coming in from Senderi to bring BASSISIX their first point on the board.
Yeah, she just casually walks around and she was able to like get those two picks and then immediately swings the momentum of the round because I don't think the players from the side of Starlight were expecting her to make that play. Like you said though, they got the first pick. They managed to win the round in a very convincing fashion, and they're gonna be able to go in for those upgrades right now. While we're on this technical pause, though, Grammy, like you gotta admire how decisive BASSISIX seem to be. Like they look so much more confident on this map. I don't know if it's because it's their map or because of their win on Ascent, but they're looking so in form right now.
I do think it's a mix of both. They did just take the map pick of AR Starlight off of their hands and coming into this map, which I do think they're pretty confident on, especially since they did pick this map. So They are looking on point today here. Felcher with their first pickup onto Shabby. It kind of looked like a cowboy showdown down B main.
I can already hear the music playing. Yes, but yes, cowboy showdown is a great word for that because that's exactly how it did look. All they need are those little hats, to really drive the points in. This time around, though, it seems like the base six players they're heading for the A side again, off the back from the arcade area instead. Because and it's a good call because it seems like a push is coming through from A main.
It's a great call actually because all these players on Starlight they're gonna be stacked up towards this A site. So having four players of Basis 6 coming in from arcades, they're basically gonna get the site for free, and it seems like it's gonna be a 5v5 retake once coming in for Starlight here.
Yeah, the gamble was made, but the direction of it was wrong, and now we're looking at all five of them running in through the attacker spawn to try and make this retake happen. I think that the sound cue would have come in right now, and BASSISIX are aware that these players are going to be coming from this particular angle. You can already see Miguel getting ready with the utility, tossing everything that she has in her arsenal towards these players. The crossfire now, it's going to have to be Miguel straying against the rest of the team. Miguel on track for the ace here, but it's going to be denied by none other than her own teammate. Felcher cleans up the last kill, and Miguel was going to have to be happy with the 4K, which is not bad, but an ace would have been so much cooler.
She almost got the ace as well. This Spectre spray down coming through was insane coming out from Miguel here. Legit Queen did pick up two of the classic though, so I do think that's quite a bit of economic damage done on the side of Basis 6.
Uh, it was. I think that only one of the players that she killed had a Spectre though, so it's still good because they were able to take that one Spectre down. But apart from that, it's I could at least ultimate wise, both teams are not really having anything in their pocket yet. Again, you can see Felcha with this headhunter ready to try and tap some heads. Ooh, spots just the tip of Legend Queen's head, in fact, but doesn't manage to connect the shots. So that's gonna make things a little bit more unfortunate for her right now. In the meantime, tower control has already been taken by these BASSISIX players, and yet again, it seems like Starlight, they're going to be on the back foot on this bonus round here. Legend Queen stuck between her own wall and all the players coming in, and Sentry is going to be able to find the pick just off the back of that Shabby, though. She's spotted out the head of one of these players. Crescent stopping the bleeding as well. Both of these players pincering the BASSISIX attackers here. 3v3, and the retake is on.
Angela though, she managed to find two, in fact, the third kill going her way as well. Takes up the kill onto Rue. Good. Oh, looks like trying to get the fourth, but it's Sender who closes the round out, and Basis 6, they get a bonus.
They lose their full buy. They pick up BASSISIX. They win the round. They pick up those upgrades, and they manage to get all the kills as well as the plants. So look at the ultimates right now. They already have Sanderi's Null Command online, just one away from that Rolling Thunder. Almost everybody will have their ultimate in a kill or two. So that is very, very rough right now for the side of Starlight, who have nothing in the bank. Ultimate-wise, Rue is close to her Neon ult, but apart from that, I'm not sure because the overdrive, it's great, but we're still on the previous patch, so the headshot multiplier hasn't kicked in yet. It's not going to be as powerful as it is right now. So Starlight, well, it's a good time for them to take a timeout because they're going to be derailing BASSISIX's momentum 3 rounds in a row. They're going to be happy after they won that bonus to add to things. But more than that, they need to figure out what exactly they're doing so wrong on this defense that BASSISIX, they're just able to basically walk into the site for free.
I think the first round was more of the fact that Shabby got taken out early, and that just means that when Basis 6 rotated, there was not much resistance on the side for Starlight to contend, and the second round was more of a gamble. But this third round was one that they probably should not have lost. And I do think that Basis 6 played it really well. Once they recognized that Legit Queen was pushed up so far main, they kind of took the advantage to try and gain some map control on the other side of the map, coming in from arcade as well.
They're not gonna have much of a buy, Starlight. They only have that one Spectre on Crescent, and what seems like the push is coming in on the A side instead. Looking at where the spike is heading towards drop here, there is that trademark that can give away the sound. I'm sorry, that can give away the position of these players if they're coming in, unless they decide to smoke it off. But nevertheless, A is where the execute seems to be coming in. Already you can see main control taken. Shabby, the point of contact, the collapse for her. Oh my lord, she manages to take down both Sandry and Filcha with that precise headshot. Manages to TP away on top as well, and I don't know if they expect her positioning here. Can she get the third is the question. Does some damage. There's a lot of damage, in fact, to KitKat, but nevertheless, Shabi is going to be shut down. It's all down to her teammates. 4 of them still alive, and it seems like Starlight might be able to convert this round. Already you can see the overdrive being popped by Rue, who is trying to push her way forward. The crossfire between Miguel and KitKat is too powerful as they manage to find 2 kills of their own. And off the back of that, KitKat, she has the orbital strike.
An aftershock to try and deny even more time from the side of ARF Starlight as they come in for this retake. Angela good for 1. It's all up to Margot. She gets stunned up. She gets shot down. KitKat takes her out. 3 kills in the round for KitKat. But what a shot coming out from Shabi right there.
I saw it on my screen and I was just shocked out of my mind. If she had managed to get the 3rd kill, I firmly believe that the round would have swung completely in the favor of ARF Starlight here. But nevertheless, great eco coming in from them. They do manage to take down 2 of those rifles, though it's not going to matter much right now because BASSISIX is still going to be able to fully buy in. But look at the ultimates right now for them. They have that Rolling Thunder, the Null Command, they have, or the Orbital Strike. Everything that they need is going to be in the arsenal of these players from BASSISIX here. On the other hand, though, for Starlight, guess what Shabi has? She has that Tour de Force, but it's instantly going to be shut down by that Null Command being popped. So these 3 players are going to be on a bit of a back foot here as a site. It opens up for free yet again for BASSISIX.
I mean, the Twitter Force is going to be on the wrong side of the map as well, so the spike plant is going to go down without much resistance, and once again, a 5v5 retake. Felsha is the one who picks up the first kill onto Legit Queen though, so that means there's so much left to do for the rest of these players. They don't have a heal to work with, but Rue is actually already on the site. Shabi, we're playing from towers. We should be able to find the first player. Does spot out Felsha, but Felsha is the one who takes her down. Crescent's trying to go aggressive, but gets shut down by Senderi there. Rue is there for the trade, but with 9 health and so much to do, Margot is just trying to stick the defuse, but KitKat is the one who shuts that down. 5 rounds in a row for BASSISIX.
Can you say momentum? Because that's exactly what is swinging BASSISIX forward right now. It seems like they can do no wrong. And, you know, Felsha over the course of this tournament, I don't think we've really seen her on the Chamber before. I think she picked up the Killjoy as well as the Sage, but I think that Chamber is the agent that she was meant to play because, man, she is Chamber lifting Shabi right now, and that's not exactly an easy task because we know how strong she can be. Anyways, though, for the side of BASSISIX, they still managed to hold on to 2 of those crucial ults here heading into this particular round. And Shabi, well, she's going to be playing in this tower angle, so that orbital strike can prove extremely dangerous if she gets stuck there. Yet again, the eco coming in for the side of Starlight, who only have that hero rifle on Shabi. Not much to work with either. If they can somehow try to convert this thrifty round, it's going to be huge for them. But apart from that, I think that the best they can do is try and figure out how exactly they're going to be dealing with this inability of them to really put up any kind of strong defense against the pushes coming in from BASSISIX.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you right there, Zach. Especially since now BASSISIX have built up such a bank. It's gonna be a really tall task for Starlight to try and regain this momentum here. The 0 point gonna come through. Does recognize where Crescent is. Angela good for 1. Sanderi takes down the Vandal of Shabi as well. And once again, the site is going to be opened up. Rue trying to hold on what she can. Unfortunately, she's going to get taken out. Margot good for 1, but what more can you find as the site is going to belong to BASSISIX.
Ooh,
what a shot.
30 seconds
They actually invest that orbital strike, which is very interesting, and that's going to cause a rotation to come through. In fact, they're going to be going towards the A site instead. You can already see the spike making its way forward, and it's almost on the side, so they should be able to get the spike down without much ado. But the resurrection, it's going to be available right now for Legit Queen if she chooses to take it, and the guns are also available on the side of B right now, so they're going to be able to go in on a full-on 3v3 retake. But the timer, Grimmy, the timer is still ticking.
Your duty is not over.
But even though the timer is ticking, the fact that KitKat already invested that orbital strike just means that BASSISIX they have less stalling power. Sure, they still do have the incendiary and the aftershock as well. Miguel already prepping the fault line. Angela gonna connects a really clean shot onto Ru, but legit Queen fires right back. Margot got find Kit Kat as well as all of the Mega 1v2 situation here. Both players coming in from main. She spots the first, able to take her down. Spike Ping come through, but Margot is the one who finishes the round.
There's
Not
no
in
time.
their favor because there's no time at all. 6 points on the board for BASSISIX.
Oh my lord, that was such an unfortunate round for Starlight there. That 1v2 that they managed to almost touch out. All they needed was just a little bit more time, but that was the price of the resurrection, the price of them being able to pick up those rifles. They just did not have enough time to successfully finish that retake. That's a heartbreaker for Starlight right there. Shabby though, in this pull by, she's finally gonna be able to pick up that operator. Last time around, she wasn't in the right spot at the right time. This time around, it seems to be the same case, unfortunately, because the spike seems to be gearing to make its way towards A. And well, Shabby, she's going to be on the B site instead. Nevertheless, though, there is still some aggression coming in towards this B main area here. Angela trying to push through, puts down the wall just a second too late, and Shabby is immediately going to punish her for it. The first pick finally going in favor of the Starlight players now.
This wall to try and gain some information and deny space for the side of BASSISIX as well. Senderi finds a pick on the opposite side of the map. So both Neons taken out actually. The Spike still leaning towards the A side. This means that there's less resistance on the A side if BASSISIX choose to execute that because there's just 2 players holding down that side there. But Senderi on the opposite side of the map once again picks up the kill onto Crescent. She's able to isolate these gunfights one by one.
That leaves Shabby all alone here. The null command is gonna force her off because she can't TP away, she can't rendezvous away, so she has to play for the retake instead. And yet again, the site is laid open for the side of these BASSISIX players right now. They are gonna be able to get the spike down without much trouble. They do have the ultimate from Felcher if they want to pop it, that tour de force, but she's on a lurk instead, and she has the timing perfect. If the players from BASSISIX who are playing on side can hold on, Felcher is gonna be able to create so much havoc in the ranks right now. Already finding 2. It's all down to just Marga here in a 1v3 situation, knows the position of one player, gets a pick. 1v2 now. She has so much work to do. The Molly coming in as well, denying the defuse any further, and the clock is still ticking here. All she can do at this point is to try and at least take away these guns or save her own. There's no time yet again, and it seems like BASSISIX are going to be able to get their 7th round on the board. They are looking so strong right now, Grammy. We're looking at a possible another 13-0 if this keeps up.
Unless ARF Starlight they have something to say about this. Shabby, she did find that initial first pick, but unfortunately for her, she's gonna get taken out. That operated investment not gonna come through as Felcher finds 2 from the flank. And I do think Starlight they kind of have to figure out what is going on. What is going wrong with the defense? Why are they not able to convert these rounds? And coming to this 8th round, they're gonna be on a safe once again.
Oh wow, okay. Immediately the push is shut down, and this happens so many times. Like Starlight tried to get some forward momentum going, but they're just not able to really connect anything. Already Rue's position given away. They do manage to pick up Senderi, so that's a huge kill that they can really get. They might be able to pick up that upgrade as well, which is what they're really banking on. They also try to go for that orb, a cheeky little play from Marga, who does manage to get that orb online. No ult available though, so no orbital strike really. 2v4 right now as a retake is on, and the position of both these players is known, so BASSISIX, they do have a leg up on them in that regard. I think Angela was planning to use her overdrive, but she didn't really need to because she was able to get so many of these kills. It's all down to just Marga here. Gets the first in that Brimstone smoke, picks up that upgrade, and the question is she going to try for this or is she just going to try and save the gun? She gets that flick onto Angela. 1v2 now. Does have the orbital strike to work with if she chooses to, but look at Felcher's position. She's creeping up on Marga with no time left. She might be able to clean up this kill. Goes down nevertheless. Marga with 3 on the round, trying to get the 4th at the very least, is going to be denied by KitKat, and that's round number 9 on the board for BASSISIX, who look unstoppable. A really nice try by Starlight though. Marga looked incredible there.
Yeah, definitely agree with you. This shot coming in from the sliding neon though takes Angela out, and even this shot coming in from the back, Felcher was trying to go aggressive, but unfortunately she gets punished for it. And right now she does have her orbital strike online, so that could be really useful in denying spike plants, or even just retaking the site and clearing out these pesky angles. And coming to this next round,
You want to
Felcher
play? Let's
actually
play.
gonna opt for the tour de force this time around.
Ooh, no, already Angela slides into the DMs of Ruins, immediately shuts her down there, pops the overdrive on top of everything else as she makes her way into the defender spawn here, trying to buy so much time, trying to do as much damage as she can. They have to deal with Angela before they can really do anything else. Marga, though, is able to take down Felcho, and that's going to be a huge kill coming in right now. Things back in the advantage of BASSISIX, who look on track to take this round down. Both Marga as well as KitKat, they have their orbital strikes ready, and Sandry is going to be in an unfortunate position if the orbital strike is chosen to be committed there, but it's not. It's a 2v4 now. Sandry and KitKat have their work cut out for them. It seems like the post-plant setup is what KitKat is going to be playing for right now. All Sandry really has to do is buy time here and stay alive as much as possible. KitKat in a 1v3 situation. Her position is known. She's going to be pushed. The clock is still ticking. She has to deny the defuse somehow because she has players running at her right now. KitKat finding a 1v2 that she has to close out. A 1v1 right now, and KitKat with the 3k. She's going to be able to get the clutch for BASSISIX, keeping them and their perfect scoreline absolutely intact. That is the power of the Brimstone Fracture that we just saw right now.
That was absolutely so well played by KitKat right there. That incendiary just denied so much time for the players of Starlight to try and go for the defuse, and one by one, KitKat, she was just able to take them down. Even an orbital strike to deny that first spike ping was absolutely insane, and try to get to try and buy as much time for the incendiary to try and fall down as well. So coming to this next round, once again Starlight on the back foot on this buy. Maru trying to cause some damage with this overdrive, instantly already spots out Angela. It's Margot who finishes up the kill though. Crescent with the follow-up, good for 2 actually. Overdrive is coming through, Sandering good for 1, but Margot trades it right back.
It's all down to just McGill. 11 HP left on her, and Rue doesn't even need to see the player before that overdrive shuts her down. A beautiful hold finally coming in from the players of Starlight, who I think basically they just underestimated them at this round. They did not account for how dangerous those Spectres and this ultimate could be in those close quarters of the site. So a great round coming in from Starlight, exactly what they needed. And if they can continue to at least get 2 more rounds on the board, it might be what they need to try and mount a comeback coming in into their attacking half, because Fracture is a map where if your attack is really good, you're going to be able to just do exactly what BASSISIX is doing right now. This time they're going to be playing a little bit more slowly. They're going back to their pincer approach here, where 2 players go towards one side of the map and the others go attack from the opposite. So that was what's been working out for them really well so far. I think last round they just got a little bit overconfident. The null command is going to be invested by Sandry, and off the back of that, it seems like they're ready for this commit onto this A side. But 4 players from the side of ARF Starlight, they're going to be right here trying to fight it and keep them from getting any kind of entry.
Angela though picks up 2 instantly, Sandering good for 1 as well, and it seems like this defense is just gonna get shut down completely. It's all up to Margot. 1v4 situation, hiding behind the sky smoke here. He does spot out one of the players. Felcher falls, but unfortunately the shots do not connect onto Miguel, as Miguel is able to take Margot out. 10 points, double digits on the board for BASSISIX.
And this is only the first half. That makes things so difficult for Starlight right now. They're still gonna be able to buy in. In fact, Shabby is gonna have enough money to invest in that operator. Marga, though, she's gonna be forced to play with just light armor and a Spectre. Very, very unfortunate situation. The bank still thriving for the side of these players from BASSISIX. Ultimate wise, though, the only thing that they really need to watch out for from the side of BASSISIX is going to be that Rolling Thunder. Well, Legend Queen, well, if she can get one more pick, she's going to have that Resurrection online. Yet again, it seems like the operator is going to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, as the players from BASSISIX are making their way towards this B site instead.
4 players running in the direction of Rouge. She's able to get the relay boat down. Takes out Miguel. Gonna get stumped up herself, but that denies so much space coming in from the side of BASSISIX. So they have to force kind of a rotation here going on to the other side of the map, where they might just walk into this operator of Shabby's.
I think Shabby is going to be very happy if they do that, because the last time around, that's exactly what happened. Angela was completely caught off guard. And the fact that Miguel was the player who went down, that's going to deny the Rolling Thunder being available during this round for the side of BASSISIX here. 4 players moving their way all up towards the A side right now. Sandra, they're just waiting for Sandra to join them. I presume they want to really put down that 0 point before they head forward to make sure the operator isn't playing on an aggressive angle. It is on site, so they might not be able to really contend with that. The 0 point being put down, though, is going to give away the information as to where exactly these players are coming from. Margot playing up on this close angle.
30 seconds
Well, if
left.
they decide to go up that rope, that Spectre can be so devastating right now. You can see Shabby already with the operator, making it sing, getting the first pick. Kit Kat, Margot finding one as well, with Angela going down. Just 2 players left right now for the side of BASSISIX here. Make that one. It's all up to just Felcha, and she's not going to be able to find anything because Rue, a 3K on the round, is going to shut her down. And finally, ARF Starlight shows signs of life, but it's 2-10, Grammy. It might be too late.
Spike down A.
They don't have much to work with anymore here. They don't have the luxury of having so many buffer rounds as compared to Ascent. And even although that's the case, I do think this last round win might just give them the momentum to come back into this next half. If they're able to secure the pistol round, they should be able to get the bonus, the second round as well. And I think the next bonus round is where it really matters.
I agree with you there. The pistol, it has to go in favor of these players from ARF Starlight because they need to get that score to at least a 4-10 before they can really start thinking about a comeback coming through, because it is possible to possibly come back from, let's say, a 12-2 scoreline, but it leaves no room for errors. And getting this pistol online for Starlight, it's going to at least give them a little bit more breathing room to work with, because right now I can't imagine the pressure that these girls must be feeling right now. They're already 1 map down. They're only 3 rounds away from being eliminated from this tournament and from game changers overall in APAC. So I can't imagine how they're going to be feeling.
It's either, I think they must be feeling the pressure, but whether or not they can convert this pressure into, I guess, more focus and momentum for them might be what we're looking for here for a comeback in AR Starlight's favor.
I mean, I would love to see a comeback because, like we've talked about it off the back of this game, Grammy, this series. Icebox is a map that both these teams have shown during the course of this tournament against incredibly talented teams that are all in the upper bracket that they're exceptional at. So if ARF Starlight can somehow wrangle a comeback, all bets are off. They could easily reverse sweep this tournament, but they have a lot of work to do, and things don't look too good for them right now because a 10-2 half, well, that puts BASSISIX on such a strong footing. They just have to play carefully, not give away too many rounds, and ensure that they deny any kind of momentum really kicking in for the side of Starlight, even if they do lose that pistol. So it's all going to come down to whether BASSISIX can play without making too many mistakes, and if Starlight can keep their mental up and play a flawless game right now.
Yeah, definitely a good review right there. And I do think coming into this next half, Starlight on the offense, they might look to play this a little slower just because they have that Sage. They might look to kind of take those initial gunfights. If they get tagged up, they can fall back and Sage can just kind of heal them back up. But that might mean they want to go in for like picks across the map, wind down the timer a little bit, feel out where they want to go before they actually execute onto a site.
I mean, it's a pistol round, so they might just end up all rushing together, going in for that W key play here. Looking at the positions of where these players are, though, it seems like A site is going to be where they want to go. But in the meantime, 3 players are going to be pushing out from towards B main here, so that's going to make them stuck between a rock and a hard place already. Angela finding a beautiful headshot, getting the second as well to Legend Queen. 3 on the round already, and she wants more. She's still hungry, and they have control of the spike. We've seen this kind of play coming in before, and it's all down to just the remaining 2 members, Shabby and Marga, who not only have to deal with all these players around the spike, they also have to deal with all 5 of them. So that's going to make things incredibly difficult right now. Already you see that Flash finding so much value. It's all in the hands of just Shabby right now in a 1v4 situation, and she's not going to find anything because Felcher's immediately going to get that headshot with her own headhunter on her. Angela, what was that play? Look at this, Grammy. Wow.
How did she land that first shot? The next 2 were really, really clean, but the first shot, that was just absolutely dirty right there.
Dirty is the right word because I don't know how she got three. I like how she used her wall to really split apart the angles and try to isolate those
Yeah.
fights. It worked out great for her. Off the back of that, though, Starlight didn't even get the plant, so they're not going to buy anything. They're just going to be playing for the overtime possibility here, unless something incredible that they manage to pull off this round. Already, you see them trying to go forward onto this A site here. Did not work out well for them the last time around. This time around, it seems like it's going to be just as difficult because both Felcha as well as Angela are going to be here with those Spectres trying to play these angles coming in. Already you can see that Miguel getting the first pick, Angela getting one on top of that as well. The Aftershock finding the third on the round. It's all down to just Legend Queen and Shelby. Legend Queen just 20 HP left on her. Already, I think the flank might also be coming in any second, but it's just going to be the forward push. Just two players left. Shabi, the only one with a serviceable weapon with that headhunter, and it's all down to her yet again. Can she even find one is the question. Ooh, she does, but that's gonna be it.
And that's match point for BASSISIX already. They look phenomenal on this map of Fracture, and then they're kind of looking to repeat history here on Starlight.
Yeah, this is PTSD all over for them. It was 13-3 the last time around. We might see a 13-2 coming in if BASSISIX play their cards right, because the last time around they did manage to convert that bonus round. So we might be seeing something very similar. Starlight, they're gonna have to play a flawless game. They have to win 10 rounds in a row for this to go over to overtime. And the odds of that, well, I wouldn't say they're great. They're not non-existent, but they're not great either. So it seems like Starlight, they're gonna be starting off towards this B side here, just rushing their way forward. But in the meantime, there are two players pushing through on that arcade, so they're going to be able to get the site for free at the very least. BASSISIX, so they're going to be able to clear out that arcade area completely, so they know that all the players are playing towards main or on site. Already, Rue, she's going to be playing towards this tower angle, trying to jiggle it, trying to see if she can get any of these picks, but she's not gonna find anything yet. She's gonna just be content to be a bit more patient.
Overdrive to come through from Angela right now. Relay bolts as well. Stun these players up, take them down. Shelby is the one who picks that kill up as the trades come through. Legend Queen finds 3 in the chaos. It's all up to Kit Kat trying to close it out, but Rue manages to keep the dream alive for ARF Starlight.
So close there. That round was not supposed to be that close. It was the full buy for ARF Starlight, and they managed to come out of it with only one rifle left. Only Rue managed to stay alive and keep her rifle. I think Kit Kat, if she had a better gun, if she was a little bit more ready, she might have in fact been able to clutch it out. Nevertheless, though, Starlight, they stay alive and they managed to try and force back into this buy here. But 3 of the players, they're going to be on light armor, so that's going to make their job even more harder. BASSISIX, in the meantime, they're going to have a very comfortable full buy. They don't have any ults online, really. But if Starlight can somehow win this round, they're going to be able to have that tour de force heading into the next one, because Shabi is only one away from it. So that is something at the very least that is going in favor of these players from the side of AR or Starlight. They're already making a lot of noise towards the A side, but the spike, in fact, is towards B. But the backstab from Arcade, yet again, finding value. Rudo still holding strong, running for her life as she takes down 2 players. Only 57 HP left on her, and she's going to be stuck in that corner. In the meantime, though, the spike is making its way towards the B side, but the players from BASSISIX, they haven't taken the bait here.
Spike down B.
Felcha and Miguel both find picks of their own, and instantly this round is turned on its head. 4v3 now turned into 2v3 in favor of BASSISIX right now. Felcha tries to connect the shots, but Legit Queen finds it instead. Does go down to 5 health though. Miguel's just gonna
Spike down
take
B.
her out, and that's a spike down as well. Rue, 1v2 situation with 57 health to her name. What can you do from here?
I don't know, because she doesn't have control of the spike. She doesn't know where exactly these players could be, because she came so late on the rotation that she's gonna have to find some kind of luck. She's not gonna get it though, because Sentry is gonna connect that headshot. 13-3 yet again. The same fate that ARF Starlight suffered the last time they played Fracture. BASSISIX do it right again to them, and it is going to be BASSISIX moving on in this lower bracket, a 2-0 in a very convincing fashion, especially on that third on that second map of Fracture. They look so strong. They looked almost unstoppable, I would say, Grubby.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you right there, Zach. Especially their aggression, not just on the offense and on the defense as well. Their first pistol round with Angela just running straight out, I think, was what got them swung the momentum in their favor to close out this map.
Yeah, it was great coming in. It was a great performance coming in from BASSISIX on this particular map, but it's a heartlight it's a heartbreaker for Starlight because on Ascent it was so close. All they really needed to do was win a couple more rounds, and it would have been their map or even overtime. Because, like you mentioned, Ascent was their map, and they really needed to win it because Fracture is something where they don't really have the perfect track record on. So that's gonna make things really really rough for them right now. They're going to be kicking themselves for losing a lot of those rounds on that map, and it's going to be the end of their journey as well, I think, in VCT Game Changers APAC this year. But I really think that a lot of those players, they are incredible, especially Shabi. I think she was playing for another teams just before this tournament. She was playing for Third Strats. For the course of LCQ, she joined up for joined up onto ARF Starlight, and despite them being a new roster, them just playing together for a few days or maybe like weeks before this tournament, they still managed to put up such a powerful show, making it to the playoffs, and even kicking out a few teams of their own before today.
I definitely agree with you right there. And well, all these players, they put up such a phenomenal performance, right? Especially on the map of Fracture itself. Even though I think Kit Kat she was one of the notable players. Even though she's off of the duelist, and she's on the brimstone, she was able to find so much value. And let's take a look at the scoreboard right here to figure out who is the MVP this time around.
Oh, going to be Sanderi who takes it for the side of BASSISIX. And man, I gotta tell you, when you think of a lurking agent, you think of usually your controller or your sentinel lurking around. But Sanderi on the KO, she's such a rat, and I say this in the nicest way possible. She is such a rat, and she is just in the right place, the right time to really capitalize on getting so many of those kills that their opponents just don't expect. Sanderi is just so insane in that way. Her timing is impeccable, and I think that's a major reason why she's going to be the MVP here. 2.8 KDA, 320 ACS on that KO. That is just, I think she's the only player in the lobby who's crossed 300 ACS, and for good reason, because she popped off during Fracture. But Marga deserves a huge amount of credit. There's so many rounds you saw her hitting the most incredibly nutty shots and just losing on things like time or not having any teammates to back her up. So a nice try coming in from her and the rest of the players from ARF.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you right there. And Angela, notable mention to her as well. Just falling short of 300, 298. That's quite a feat as well, I think.
I agree with you. I mean, we saw the kind of shots she was hitting. I think that if this game had gone on for longer and she managed to like really do her neon things on the attacking half, she might have been able to overtake Senderi, but we'll never know because it was 13-3. And looking at the various objectives that you compare across, just the damage, 3,000 more damage compared to the ARF players. That is insane coming in from BASSISIX here. And the frag wins 12-3. Wow, that is quite a number.
That is a number indeed, and I think that's precisely why BASSISIX, they were able to close out the map here. They were just hitting all these nutty shots, especially Senderi. Even though she had the timings, I mean, she had the timings. Not only that, she was able to land the shots as well. And let's find out who the MVP of the series is. It's gonna be Senderi.
Sanderi W player.
2.8
Sanderi W player.
KDA. That's insane.
It's even more insane considering that she plays Initiator as door controller. She does not play that duelist role usually. So just the fact that she's able to pull off this kind of a performance, and it's not just today, right? She's been doing this over the course of the entire tournament so far. She's just been popping off on that Viper, on that Astra. Today we saw her on that KO. Whatever agent she picks up, she's just hitting those headshots like there's no tomorrow. And that's exactly what's going to be propelling her team BASSISIX forward in this lower bracket. And it's a heartbreaker because you remember yesterday's games, right? They were so close, 13-11 both games, and it could have just as easily been BASSISIX sitting up in that upper bracket today. But I think they're gonna want some revenge against X Team, which is just gonna be a part of the fire that's driving them.
Okay, that's gonna bring us to the brackets. Let's take a look at the brackets right now, heading forward into the LCQ here.
Yeah, so tomorrow we have two phenomenal matches coming up. We have that upper bracket final. Whoever wins that is going to be locking in their ticket to VCT Game Changers Elite APAC, where you will fight for that one slot in the international LAN in Berlin. So X Team Bo and X10 Sapphire, wow, the casters tomorrow are going to have a lot of fun with that, but they're going to be playing each other for that first spot. And we also do have the lower bracket matchup between BASSISIX, who we saw in action today, against Team W Streaks, who have been putting up an absolute show over the last two tournaments that they've played. They only formed the team around when overtime was happening, and they barely lost in overtime. Grammy, it went to all 5 maps, and the last map it was incredibly close. So I think they really want to punch in their ticket too. So W Streaks versus BASSISIX, I think that's gonna be quite a match to watch.
Definitely agree with you right there. I think both these teams have phenomenal performances so far. So tomorrow's matchups are gonna be absolute bangers. Just
I feel you. I'm speechless. I'm already picturing Sandori going up against, let's say, W Streaks Rosie or Nuki, and I think we're gonna have a treat of a bunch of matches tomorrow. So yeah, stock up on your snacks, get yourself whatever you like to drink while watching all these exciting matches, because you're gonna need the energy, because they're gonna be bringing it to you. But I think that's gonna be it for today from both me and Grammy. Congratulations, BASSISIX. Good luck for your matches tomorrow, and we'll be seeing you around. Goodbye.